All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode number 22 of Ursine Combo Lab Audio. Oops. Okay, there we go. There's the intro. Welcome to episode 22 of Ursine Combo Lab Audio. Uh, we've got a special episode this time featuring Evo 2024 discussion. This was the largest Evo ever, and it's appropriate for us to give as much of our thoughts on it as we can. And joining me today are two of the members of FGC UCLA's Discord community who are actually in attendance as well. This is Storm Claymore and Jub who are joining me.
Hello, this is Storm Claymore. I attended on Saturday only, but I do have, as a spectator who didn't compete, I had my fair share of um, uh, participating in demos at certain booths like riots and also, meeting other players as well.
Yeah, and I'm Jub. I got a competitor pass, went to all 3 days of Evo. It's actually the first Evo I've ever been in attendance for, so it's something really special and interesting. But yeah, unless there's anything else, without further ado, we should just get it right into it.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So Evo, guys, this was the largest Evo ever. Not just the largest Evo ever, but this Evo this year marked the largest open entry esports tournament that was ever held, from my understanding at least. And as you both know, it was held in a new venue. In the past couple of years, Evo has been held in Mandalay Bay Convention Center. However, this year it was held in a new venue called Las Vegas Convention Center, which is quite a bit larger from my understanding. Is that correct, you guys?
Well, I don't exactly have a point of comparison, so if Storm Claymore can... If Storm Claymore...
This year's Evo was held at the Las Vegas Convention Center at the West Hall. It is a lot larger and different than what was at Mandalay Bay. I can say that in terms of observation. So
Okay. Roger that then. So yeah, clearly with like a larger venue space and a large number of entrants, they had high ambitions this time around. And we'll be talking about today whether those ambitions were met or whether there are a few rough edges that still need to be polished. But yeah, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and jump right into our topics proper. I have a list of things I want to cover, but this episode in particular will be quite freeform and very general. Just whatever comes to mind over the course of the 2 hours. We'll try to touch on as much as we can. But first things first, the games that were at EVO, the main stage games. The main stage games this year, you guys will see on the live stream that the main lineup consisted of Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Uni 2, Mortal Kombat 1, KOF 15, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike as the sort of retro representative. So with this collection of 8 games, there were quite a number of entrants. Street Fighter 6 usually kind of leads to that. But one noteworthy change from previous years is that on Sunday, the venue was kept open for casuals while the the 4 highest entered games had their top 6s in the arena concurrently. And this led to some, I guess, okay, from what I heard, at least, it led to some weird situations since the arena ticket was part of the, like, admission payment that everyone made to be a part of the event. But then a lot of people weren't able to actually go inside the arena for some reason. Yeah, I guess that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Do you guys have any perspective you can offer from having been there in person?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lot to jam in a single topic point, I guess, but Actually, I did, because it felt like it was kind of the most obvious sticking point was, the day three finals, the Sunday finals, the huge line. I didn't actually bother to like walk into the arena on day three. I had a few friends from UCI that like got in like early as possible, like during Grand Prix finals, and just like camped it out the whole way through. But I just stayed in the rest of the venue the entire time, and I watched Tekken finals, from the comfort of the Kidja Lounge at the far end. But yeah, I heard from Big Jace that apparently at one point the line to get into the arena was lot or like had more people than there actually were in the arena itself, which is kind of mind-boggling, honestly.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true, but I mean, given the way that it literally looped around the length of the venue, I could definitely see that being the case. It's pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can somewhat attest to that, um, based on a spectator position. So first thing is that Friday and Saturday were obviously, a success given how, smooth I guess the spectator position was for watching like uh live like stream on like polls or top like 24 and such. Um, there were some people like me who decided to take chairs from the casual sections and bring it towards the stages so that we can have a closer look without sitting on the floor. And for one thing, it complicates other players because they're trying to, get in some matches with casual in the casual settings because um Rick the Hado has stated that yes, once these tournaments started to die down, every setup will be a casual. The only problem is that spectators like me kept grabbing those chairs and pushing it up to the stage, trying to get a good glimpse of these games, and it complicates the situation because I guess that's kind of exacerbated in I believe on Saturday, and
Mm-hmm.
then on Sunday. So, I mean, I'm guilty as the person trying to, watch the game, but keep in mind that people who come to Evo, they're not here just to play more video games. They're here to watch the best of the best, get the grand prize and try to make it on top 6. So the second thing is that yes, those lines were just everywhere in the venue. Like I was watching Yo Video Games doing their commentary, and you can see the lines like just bursting in the background, and you have people trying to get in the venue because it, apparently there's not enough space compared to the ones in Mandalay Bay where you can actually sit in the high rise seats if
Mm-hmm.
possible, or there were more available seats. But given how small I guess the venue is because of how I guess the games are going, it made it very complicated for other people to get in. And as Judge
Oh,
has said, people had
I
to
assume
come in.
you mean the arena, not the venue
No,
itself,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I meant like the arena, and and people are trying to get in like as early as possible. I have a friend who I think was there at since 6 a.m. and he tried to sim some spots, but unfortunately, my other friends tried to get in, but they just gave up and decided just, you know what, we're just gonna sit inside the venue. We could see the stream of that arena. And it's come to the point where a lot of people have complained and demanded refunds because they wanted what they were supposed to get to be in that arena and watch it live. But they're back in their hotel rooms watching that live stream. So yes, this is a giant problem because there's not a lot of space or flow to navigate to get those chairs to watch it live. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from a logistical standpoint, I don't really know what we can they can do about that other than jam more chairs into the arena, I think it would probably be possible to seat like. I mean, it would probably be like the spacing hazard, but theoretically they could jam a few more chairs in there and seat more, but definitely not enough to accommodate the ravenous masses. Uh, I'm not sure if it's an unsolvable problem per se, but it's definitely not one that I can, think of a simple solution off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's a new problem because they're at a new location. Obviously, things are not going to be, solved at this time. But given that, this is a thing, we can't complain that much because, again, this is a new thing we're trying out. Uh, but yeah, like, I'm sure logistically they can figure out how to uh conduct human traffic in the arena. But yeah, this is something they have to fix. Otherwise, people are going to get more upset if this is going to be the same thing for the next year.
Yeah, I heard also eventually like the security start getting like real picky about like who they actually like let into the arena. Like there were some people like that I knew that were like saving seats, but like the people on the outside trying to come in like weren't able to get through regardless. Although I
Yeah.
think Storm Claymore already mentioned this, but yeah, it just seems like a nightmare and probably like a lot leads to a lot of like horrible like sunk cost fallacies. See decisions like, oh, I just gotta sit here and sit here and sit here,
Yeah.
otherwise I'm definitely gonna lose my spot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Imagine trying to sit through Guilty Gear Strive and
yeah, exactly. I was
Melty
like, I want
Blood
to watch
just to watch
Tekken.
Street Fighter and Tekken. You know?
Hold on. First of all, we're not dissing Melty Blood in this house, and second of all, there was no Melty Blood in the first
I know.
place.
I mean, it was Uni. I'm sorry, but still.
No, Uni was Saturday finals. Grand
Yeah.
Blue was Sunday finals, which you
Shoot,
would have
I
had
ain't getting
to.
my games up, but the point is, you have to sit through anime games just to watch the real events. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't even. Okay, you guys forget.
Yeah,
For the record, I did want to bring this up. Actually, I
Yeah.
did sit in person in the arena for the Uni finals and the third strike finals on Saturday, and those were some amazing top sixes.
Yes.
I don't know. God, Kershi, you must also have been really happy to see those Uni finals because goddamn, those are some good sets.
Actually, that was such high level play. Yeah, we can talk about it when we talk about the top six. Go ahead.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, we can talk about this a little later, but Scenario was completely on fire. That was so fun to watch.
Legit vintage. Like I was thoroughly impressed. Like
Like this might go down to history, honestly. Amazing Uni finals. And of course
Mhm.
the third strike finals were completely historic too. Haya just stealing all the entire show.
yeah. the Zoomers now know who Hayao is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Mhm.
becoming the big personality up on that stage, even though he didn't win it all.
Yep. It's like in
So,
true like Evo Moment 37 fashion.
yeah, that was a great time to be, in that crowd, like just seeing everyone go fucking crazy. It's actually okay. A little. I gotta cut this off soon, but it's insane to me that like we're as the FGC we're collectively able to get hype for Chun Yoon in the year 2024. That's crazy to me. That's genuinely crazy to me. Like, yeah, we're all excited to watch this woman like hit back fierce, like crouching medium kick like 5,000 times, and this little rat on the other side of the screen is like building meter, does a random dive kick in, activate. Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I guess part of it is a testament to how like Third Strike hasn't been at Evo in a while. And we're seeing all these great players get a chance to show what they can do. But yeah, if it were back again, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see any like Chun Chun.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was. Oh, the evil side of me was like secretly rooting for it to be like grand finals, just so that people could experience the evil.
Yeah.
It's like you may think you like this game, but will you like it in the next 20 minutes?
I mean, I feel like Chun Yoon is just as representative, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, but I think the thing is, at least with Chun Yoon, there's sort of like a flow that creates like an interesting story. It's like this back and forth of like Chun has to like try to harass Yoon before he's able to build that meter. And then once he has that meter, like Chun has to weather the storm because she's not going to build Super 2 before Yoon builds Super 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then once she builds Super 2, the tides turn again because Yoon really can't make any mistakes. Otherwise, that's like half the round.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, like.
But yeah.
I will say that watching Third Strike was, especially on main stage, was a phenomenal experience, especially with, Haya, popping up every single round.
You know what? We can shift topics. Like it sounds like we covered a decent amount of the new venue changes for day 3. We can talk about top 6 right now and then.
Oh, the final thing I wanted to say about the venue actually is that, yeah, I'm really glad that they kept like everything else open during day 3. I mean, maybe you saw my tweet about how I landed a Ketsui PB.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
like
yeah.
at 940 on day 3. That was really exciting. But yeah, that arcade section was really cool. I mean, I'm a shmup player, so I'm really biased, but they had a lot of cool shmups. They had, besides Ketsui, they had Mushihime Futari, S. Galuda, S. Rade, Donpachi. I mean, it's weird that they have Donpachi and not, they had Donpachi Daifukats as well. And of course, the Exa with Saidai Ojo, the Toho remakes. Akato Blue, that one weird rhythm shmup game that I tried and decided I didn't like.
Yeah.
It was still cool. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I just don't think I'd played that much more. But it was cool to try at least. But I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, that arcade section was really impressive. A lot of old fighting games too. You're really spoiled for choice at that arcade. Super cool.
Yeah.
I hope the arcades at EVO are this sick next year.
They've definitely like made. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Just one small gripe and another complaint. Not enough water stations, and the bottles are smaller now.
Yeah.
So,
imagine paying like $6.50 for that like tiny fucking Aquafina bottle. It's depressing. Actually, the thing is, you get more money's worth out of getting Gatorade. So I try to get Gatorade, but the machine wouldn't take my cash for some reason. Fucking stupid. I went out to the Siegel's Bagels like right outside the venue, and they this like giant like 32-ounce water bottle, and I was like for like $6. I was like, damn, good thing I can buy any drinks inside the venue.
Yeah, they're at the whatever that Bud is like Budweiser or something. The stadium. The drinks were
that's
so
right.
expensive.
They were selling alcohol too. I didn't check that out. I would have checked it out, but
yeah, that's right. They did sell alcohol.
I kind of can't because I got eye surgery and I shouldn't be drinking. Or not eye surgery, eyelid surgery. But you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it was a success this new day 3, or like at least it's like a good start? Would you say?
I personally really like keeping the rest of the venue open on day 3. I'm not like I don't have a point of comparison, obviously, but like the arcade is super sick. They keep putting in as much effort as they did this year for the continuous years.
Stormclaim or anything?
No, I think this is a new improvement. Obviously there's going to be some logistical issues. And there's going to be plenty of complaints. I will say that the security is quite lax this year. I know. Okay, I'm not gonna try to incriminate people, but I know folks who bought like Saturday passes and they got in like Sunday, or they had a Friday pass and they got in for a Saturday. It's just like, okay, I guess we're just all gonna stroll on in with no repercussions, And this also has been, and I'm sure we're gonna reference this later, but we do have some celebrities from the FGC who have managed to, get in. Actually, they did not get my ID. That was the most surprising thing, because last year when I got my pass, they asked for my ID. But when I got there, I'm like, no ID? All right, I guess I'll just stroll on in, with my Saturday pass, I guess. So,
yeah.
yeah, there's gonna be a that's for Rick to decide. Everything else, it seemed fine for the most part.
Yeah, that's a concern. I think that's partly
Yeah.
the new venue though, because last year they were pretty well. Okay, I don't know if it was different because I was partly a volunteer, partly a staff. Because I had to get a special badge, right? So maybe for me they had to ask ID specifically, but
Oh yeah, yeah. Now that you mentioned it, they were very strict when it came to obtaining like IDs and passes. Like, I will say, when I volunteered last year, I got harassed. Me and a couple others got harassed by security because they were like, "Oh no, you're not supposed to be here." I'm like, "What are you talking about? We volunteer here." It's like, "No, no, no, you don't got the right color pass." And I'm like,
yeah,
"No, you can go to our supervisor and uh, they'll handle it." And then they're like, "Oh, sorry about that." But then as I'm trying to get some goodies, it's like, "Sorry, we gotta scoot you away." I'm like, "No,"
right,
Man, that
But
shit's fucked.
but
yeah,
because this is a new venue, it means new people, and
mhm.
new people aren't very familiar with Evo's policies and terms and services. So obviously things are going to be lax, but it's going to be the security is going to be increased, you know, like next year. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we can talk about that a bit more soon here. Um,
The one thing I
mhm.
will say about the lax security is that it makes it less of a sunken cost fallacy to like go back outside and like get water, which I'm thankful for because like goddamn, I'm not paying for that water.
No, that's totally reasonable. It's weird that they had such strict like policies regarding bringing drinks or your
I
need to
mean,
like stay. Yeah, yeah,
oh no, well they were strict about it this year. I literally walked in holding like a Slurpee from 7-Eleven. They didn't care at all.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Last year they were. Last year they
Yeah,
were.
I'd imagine so. I mean, they probably just want to like price gouge.
hmm
Sucks.
hmm
Really wish they would just jam a fountain in there, but yeah.
Did they have like a what's it called? Um, the like did they have like security screening at all? Like checkpoint?
Yeah, they had some screening. My bag got checked like once, and so I thought, oh, this if this happens again and again, it might be a huge time waste. But it never happened again. Interestingly,
Okay.
it's I don't really know what the criteria are, but I can't imagine they were too serious about
Sounds like they have some yeah, they need to like figure things out a bit better for next year for this venue because it seems like
it.
the specific like, you know, migrating to this venue caused a lot of issues logistically with a lot of things, especially related to day 3. So this seems
Yeah.
like one of them. Yeah. Okay.
How long has Evo been at Mandalay at this point?
Too
Not
long.
forever, but for long
Quite a
enough.
while, right? Like I
Yeah.
remember at least watching Mandalay finals back in like 2017, so it's been
Oh
at
yeah.
least a while.
Yeah. It's been as long as that for sure. I
That
think
was how
even
I got into
2015.
Guilty
Hey,
Gear.
let's go. Let's go. That's sick. Yeah.
Xrd was like delayed for an hour right before Melee, so I was like, "Oh, let's watch this Xrd game. I don't have anything better to do."
Let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome. And now here you are.
Here I am.
But yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's move on. We can talk about the. Oh my goodness, there's so much to talk about. Uh, let's talk about the top sixes next. So yeah, we kind of
Yeah,
touched
yeah.
on it a little bit already, but they were really good this year. Like I can't really think of. Okay, I didn't watch MK1, so I won't count that.
Who does?
Oh, unmitigated disaster right there.
Yeah, I did watch Strive. I will admit, I watched Strive finals. Nitro winning was
Oh,
super nice.
yes,
Good
yes,
for
Yeah,
him.
I heard
yes.
it was actually pretty cool. I didn't watch
It
any of
was
it myself.
intense, man.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything else. I only watched the grand finals, but the fact that I watched the grand finals, you know, is a lot on its own.
I mean, the fact that you're willing to sit through any Strive gameplay says a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But I did hear that it was exciting. So, and FlyQuest, 2 of their pickups from last year won Evo this year. Isn't that crazy? Like,
That's
I
kind of
would,
crazy.
I would not have expected that. And FlyQuest is making a pretty big gamble on the FGC. Like before 2XKO even came out, they sponsored players with 2XKO in mind. And then it just so happened that the players they picked up are pretty good at the games they already
Yeah.
play right now.
I mean,
mhm.
it's a bit risky, but it's pretty forward thinking. You got to get them before everyone else can snap them up.
Oh yeah, and if you can provide like the infrastructure and support that you've already built up with the other esports games, then it becomes even better for those players. And Punk seems like a completely changed person uh, from when you of course first entered the scene, and
Yeah.
he was pretty cocky, but now he's definitely humbled by his victory in Street Fighter 6. But we can talk about it in order to make it easier.
Yeah.
Okay. First was KO 15.
It's too bad for all these esports companies though, because me and Zenryoku are gonna win everything.
Oh, true. Yes. Yeah. But they better watch out. Oh my goodness.
They better watch out.
The Zen Jub duo. Oh man.
Yeah, the Strong Viper were too.
Yes. But yeah. Okay.
Yes.
KO 15. So the narrative going in, I've actually got KO 15 playing on the live stream right now. Oh my goodness. There was an interview with Xiaohai. It was done by Whaley Dojo, who's like one of Xiaohai's I don't know how to call it, like maybe friend, I guess. But like he's like one of the guys that like is like the bridge between the KOF community and like Xiaohai himself, right?
No.
And he speaks English, so it's like really helpful. But yeah, he did an interview with Xiaohai. I need to find it again. I'll play it after I say what I'm going to say right now. But during the interview, Xiaohai mentioned that like going into KO 15 this year, we'll see how it goes. I'm more focused on Street Fighter 6. That's basically the gist of what he said. And look at him, he just wins KO 15.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's a monster. Can anyone stop him?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he didn't win EVO Japan this year though. So that's the interesting part. But maybe that worked in his favor because EVO Japan was a bit more stacked than EVO KOF 15 this year.
Yeah.
Not to mention
definitely closer proximity to a lot of the really powerful Chinese and Korean players.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think Logia, M Dash, ZJZ, I don't think any of them were in attendance. And those are like also top players other than like ET.
Yeah, for sure.
So this time around, like most of the competition that Xiaohai had was basically ET, Score, and then Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean,
yeah.
As far as I remember, Violent Kid made a pretty damn good run too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fully expected.
Of course, he's one of the greatest.
But yeah, looking at like the landscape of KO 15 right now, the game it's not in like a bad spot, but it's clear that SNK is shifting their focus to City of the Wolves.
It kind of scares me because after EVO, I do kind of want to play this game more, but it's like, is it like it feels like it's at that time where SNK is gonna like pivot to City of the Wolves, kind of like how Frenchman hard pivoted to Uni and just never looked back.
Yeah, which
or at least hasn't looked back yet. I mean, they're still blue balling us. They got to give us like Len, Nadia. They even teased like Xion a little bit, which is crazy. But...
Oh wow. Okay. Look out for that then, you guys. But
oh brother.
Yeah. So yeah, and regarding like the character diversity, I mean, we've already kind of known this for a while now, but it's going in the right direction ever since the patches recently. So
yeah, for sure. It was definitely more diverse than I would have expected. I always felt like KOF 15 kind of ended up being a little coin move with respect to character choice. But it was refreshing to see all sorts of characters at this year's EVO Top 6.
Yeah.
God, I have to get used to that instead of Top 8.
Dude, I'm so used to saying Top 8. I can't wait to get off saying 6 after this episode, pretty much. But
it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Can't believe they made us watch fucking rock, paper, scissors so that they could play a few more ads.
Oh my, dude, I remember that. That's how you know it's goofy. Like, there's no. They don't have the best interest of the people that are spectating.
No,
with regards to doing top 6.
They just want that electric wind guac fist, bro.
Yeah. And speaking of which, so Xiaoi's box is back. I'm showing it on the stream right now. I got a screenshot from the pools, but it was all throughout top 6 as well. In fact, I think I think Score brought his own makeshift box of a kind to the top 6 as well. He had like a little divider and it had his face on it. It was pretty funny. Um, I don't think the other players had, or maybe ET. ET was allowed to use Xiaoai's box at one point, but I don't know if that was during top 6. It probably wasn't. um, and then yeah, the grand finals itself, complete wash. Xiaoai just bodied ET, which was unfortunate because I think ET played pretty well this tournament. Like the Clark gave Xiaoai a lot of trouble in the first set that they played. And I think in general, Xiaoai has said on the record that he doesn't like playing against Clark, but maybe that's all mind
It's
games.
annoying for sure. Feels like sometimes you just get randomly counter hit by Jay and you lose. Whoops.
It's true though. Yeah, it's difficult to deal with like Clark's Vortex because the options to beat it are committal. It's not like you're guessing, but you can't like autopilot your offense against Clark pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think apart from like that, like Dark Horse pick Tamago brought out Blue Mary, which was pretty surprising. I mean, Mary's not bad, but I feel like she didn't necessarily pull a lot of weight for Tamago in the top 6.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I actually did not really get a chance to watch any KOF, which makes me sad. But, what was I even doing? I don't know. I was just like dying. Actually, I was just really tired.
Oh no, totally fair. I mean, it takes a lot of energy out of you, Evo weekend. So yeah.
Well, I'm a fake fan. I didn't watch KOF anyway. Xiaohai, oh, he's gonna win. All right, next.
Yeah, no, pretty much. I mean, if you look at the players that went there, yeah, it was. I mean, even with that interview we had, I feel like it was kind of, yeah, he was bound to win.
What's that? Sonic Fox MK1. He's gonna win. Pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Actual like unmitigated disaster. I can't imagine being like one of the TOs of the players sitting there and just being like, oh.
Yeah, because they played on the wrong patch, right?
Yeah, they had to like fucking restart all top 6, which is actually insane.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's absurd. I think that was the second game of the day too. So
it's kind of funny because they after Third Strike Finals, or actually no, sometime during the middle of Third Strike Finals, they were like, yeah, after this we're gonna watch Street Fighter 2 the movie. But then like after Third Strike Finals are done, it's like already like 10:20 and like the venue has closed.
Right.
And I was like unsuspectingly, oh, maybe I can go back to the arcade and get in one more run of Cat Suite. No, I can't.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird that like there are so many FG majors that are like, 24-hour arcade, 24-hour free play. And then it's like, no, we're closing this one at 10. It's like, we're in Las Vegas. What the hell here closes at
10? Right? Yeah. It's disaster too, because there's so many like restaurants around there, and you're not sure what time it is because, theoretically you're never going outside. At least that was the case for Mandalay Bay. Like, the casinos and resorts there, like you don't know what time it is because there's like no windows and you're never outside.
I remember like sitting at the wall like next to the arcade and like looking out where like the sun is shining through. And it's like 6 p.m. on Sunday, and I'm like, damn, it looks like it's 2 p.m.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the Vegas classic though. Yeah, it's not surprising at the very least. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch MK1, so I guess that the only thing to mention is that Sonic Fox winning, good for them. Like, I guess
good for them. I mean, who else would you like want to win, right? Like, what is anyone else going to do about them?
Yeah. I mean, cool part is that that's another Evo win under their belt, which is pretty absurd. Like, probably makes them among Justin Wong. Who else has a lot of Evo wins? I guess just Justin Wong. Oh, Arslan.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Justin Wong and Arslan. So we're starting to like really get in, our FGC Mount Rushmore together, and Sonic Fox is certainly among them.
The Kill Sage finally beat Sonic Fox at Skullgirls.
Oh,
time.
Yippee!
okay. That was a community showcase, huh? Oh, we can talk
Yes.
about that.
Oh,
Once
did
we
that
get.
actually happen during? That's right. He did have Skullgirl. Oh, I didn't pay attention to that at all.
Me
I'm kind of
neither. But this is huge because the kill stage could not be Sonic Fox. I
yeah.
think last year.
The kill stage was like fucking coping on it so hard. It was kind of funny and also kind of sad.
Interesting, yeah, but yeah, community showcase had a lot of great games I didn't manage to catch because there's just so much going on in 3 days.
Yeah, for sure. Although I will say it is jarring to me how they had Street Fighter V, but no Ed back. But apparently they ended up canceling Street Fighter V anyways,
Oh, interesting. Okay,
which
that's
is
conspiracy.
doubly wild to me.
Conspiracy. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
another surprising thing is that Marvel 2 actually ended up being the least represented game in the entire community showcase,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of that feels wrong. Like VSAV gapped it by 7 entrants, like 25 to 32.
Well, that's a common VSAV W, I would say.
Suppose so. Congrats to all VSAV players.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, MK1. And then after that was Uni 2. What a final!
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that was so good.
Amazing, amazing top 6.
I
A lot of really great tight sets.
And Uni 2 is such a fast game in particular compared to previous entries. I have a lot to talk about Uni 2 in particular, but maybe that'll be for a separate episode. But this intro was killer, by the way. I know a couple of folks that worked on it, so it's cool to see how it came out. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the Third Strike intro was also really cool.
Yeah. They really like.
It was actually exceptionally cool. I mean, we could talk about it a little later, but oh my god.
Yeah, they put some great work in a lot of the like how to call it, like viewing experience this year.
Yeah,
So-
it's a good thing the ad money is at least going somewhere useful.
Yeah, true that. Yeah. So okay, I had a lot of like bold predictions about this year's Uni 2 tournament. This was on my own stream. My prediction to win it was Oshuhito, but that was a very safe prediction. I didn't really feel confident in any of the North American players that they would make it past the top Japanese players. But at the same time, I wasn't confident in any one Japanese player that was present at this tournament. Now, say Kyo, because I think Kyo is the best player right now. If Kyo were here, I think he would have won. But given that Uni 2 is, or just Uni in general, is all about matchups and the player you play against and the character you play against, that's what it comes down to a lot of the times. You just gotta hope that the player that you're rooting for runs into a matchup that they know, and that way they can make it far.
Fair.
Yeah, because I do think like, and credit to Mosin, we're seeing Mosin on the screen right now. Credit to Mosin, they played Kuon, and Kuon's a very strong character, but I think a lot of people don't know the matchup as well. So that allowed him
for sure.
to get a lot more leverage than otherwise.
Yeah, there were a lot of like big converts off those 236 AAs, and like you look at it and you just go like, should this character actually be able to convert off that?
Right.
That seems a little ridiculous, but like it keeps happening.
Yeah, and it's just mids, right? It's just mids, but people don't block.
It's all mids, guys. Yeah, but I mean, still, he drops the onion ring on top of you, and you get put in a flight mix-up, and there were a lot of people getting opened up by the empty lows, which that's scary.
I mean, that's legit though. Scary. Yeah, that is very
really
legit.
Yeah, and there were a few like cross-up mix-ups, you know, sprinkled in there, which makes it even more scary.
Yeah, I think Kuon will require some studying by a lot of these players for the next major tournament, which should be Climax of Night.
I'm kind of surprised that Tsurugi really underperformed at this Evo. I don't think there were any Tsurugis in top 40, which is really surprising.
Yeah, I don't think Tsurugi's got strong enough tools to stand out among the rest of the cast. Like, people did think he was strong at first, but over time, I think people started to learn the character a bit more, and you can like fight him comfortably, even if you don't have a ton of experience against him. Whereas Kaguya, oh my lord, Kaguya upset in losers bracket. I mean, mainly it was Lid, and shouts to Lid. That was an incredible run. I think eliminated Clear Lamp, eliminated.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. They like. Was it Michelle? I think that was Michelle is top JP non-step player, they eliminated a lot of people in the losers bracket and far outperformed their seed, which I think that shook up a lot of things for what people expected. So yeah, Kaguya definitely slept on character. I think a lot of people rated her as the worst character in the game prior to this tournament.
Oh yeah.
Might have to reevaluate that.
No, she's almost definitely not the worst. It's just I heard she had like a lot of combo instability issues at like the start of things,
which she still had. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like even then, it's like that's probably something that's like harder for people to just like look over to like see her strengths.
Yeah, totally good point. What else for normal things? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like Uni's definitely a game because of how strong defense is. You have to really push every opportunity for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And like put yourself in a position to win the position of war, win that cycle.
Yeah.
Force your opponent to make some bad decisions.
Mm-hmm. I think this version in particular, the reason why it's a lot more volatile is because individual mistakes snowball a lot harder in this game than they did before.
Yeah, and it feels like it's a lot easier to pump out really high damage. Like you'll see characters hit like 5k just going into like infinite worth. Like all this feels kind of crazy.
Yep. Thankfully addressed in the patch, because that's my biggest gripe with the game up to this point was damage was too high and too free. Like you get meter so fast in this version, and then IW deals way too much as well. And not even just IW, damage in general is too high. It was easy to see that at this tournament because there were very few significant interactions that were taking place in a lot of these matches, and they were the deciding interactions too. Like you would see, I don't know, Landrikia get an ice rain, and that would be the game winner, and it's just like, bruh, yeah. And that move I think is a little bit too much, but that's a separate story. Sure. Yeah, overtuned. Yeah. There's a lot of like small things, but I think overall, like, can we talk about Sonaru just actually playing like
that shit was crazy. He played like out of his mind.
Actually, I cannot. Well, yeah.
No, you go. I'm sure you have more insight than I do.
No, yeah, I cannot think of a time where I've seen Sonaru play better than he did at this turn. I'm not kidding at all. Like, it's incredible too because he's not necessarily been, as far as I know at least, he's not necessarily been grinding that hard. But I think he's just like so fundamentally solid that he can just channel his like competitive, I don't know, bloodlust or whatever you want to call it, whenever he needs it, and just tear through people. That's what he did at the arcades. It was easy to see that, like, in this top 6. And there was an interview too that Brett did with Sonaru, and Sonaru was saying, I normally lose to Oshuhito, but this time I will beat him. And so he did. Like, Oshuhito got super iced. Yeah. Like, Oshuhito has problems, like, kind of choking in bracket environment, but especially at this tournament, dude, like, he felt the fear and intimidation from Sonaru. That was very, very much evident.
I mean, to be fair, Sonaru actually did play out of his mind.
Yes.
So that's more than a little warranted.
Yeah.
And like the crowd on his side too. Dude, like, I don't know, just yelling reload on every reload was so fun.
Yeah, that was I think originally that was the Climax of Night thing, and then just carried over whenever there was a top Outland player, but there weren't a lot of top Outland players in Uniclair, so I think people kind of forgot about that. But now that Sonaru's back, everyone's excited again.
Open full force.
Mm-hmm. Any other? Oh yeah, Defiant had a great performance. They were the best performing.
Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Best performing NA player. They got like 4th with Landrekia.
That's right. Yeah. Normally they play like a bunch of characters in Uni 2 at least, but I think Landrikia felt the strongest for this bracket, and that made sense to me.
Yeah, it definitely feels like very like stable and like easy to access powerful tools.
Mm-hmm. Very strong tournament
the
character.
Ice Prison, the Ice Rain, those Rekkas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
feels like a very tournament stable character.
That's a great analysis, I would say too, because that's how people feel about Kuon now, and Landrikia has been like that since he released. Like, he's still hard to fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, even though people have the knowledge, he's still hard to fight. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good subject to find. Like, they've really been grinding, like a lot of online tournaments and
for
stuff.
sure.
So
You could really
deserved.
see it in the way they played.
And then Notes is the last player I want to mention. Shout outs to him. I think he actually, like, people might say like, oh, expected of him, but Carmine is a very hard character to play in tournaments because you really have to ride off your momentum. Otherwise, you just die.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think Carmine was definitely being overrated by a lot of North American players. Like, he's good, especially in this version, but in tournament, you still have to keep your momentum because of all the health you spend on pressure and combos. And Notes is just by far the best Carmine. So the fact that he was able to like leverage his skill with the character and like, you know, all his match knowledge he's accumulated over time to make it this far. And this was a pretty stacked tournament. So it definitely took a lot for him to make it there. And at the end of the day, he ended up losing to Kuon, I believe. I think he lost Mosin Kuon.
Yeah, he lost to Mosin.
Yeah, so like that's not even like that bad. Kuon is a weird character for Carmine to fight. And I think there's still a lot of knowledge left to understand for the match specifically. So yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean overall Sonar just played insane. So
it is kind of interesting because like Carmine, especially for like uni singers, has some tools that are like very clearly like things you can like point out and complain about. Like a lot of people complain about the grenade, and it actually ended up beating so many throw techs.
Yeah.
Just doing backdash, and the grenade blows up, and they eat 4K, and they're just like, "Oh, this is miserable. This sucks." Yep. I saw the fuzzy come out a few times too.
The fuzzy,
overall, just like as you said, like with the health spending, it's still kind of like an inherently risky territory. Even if those like powerful options sort of like balance it out with a little more stability, like you still have to get that hit to earn that stability.
Oh yeah, especially in this game. Like you die off of like around 2.5 hits in this game. So
yeah, for sure.
Carmine spending that health, like you spend around like let's say like your average round, you spend kind of like 20% of your health just on not like combos, but just like in general, you spend like 20% of your health playing the character normally. If you mess things up, then you're dead in 2 hits. let's just put it the way it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fuzzies, they came into play, but honestly, I think the throw baits were more impactful, as you're saying, because like that's something that people kind of got used to being the way it was before this game, and now this game they changed it. So all the people that used to crouch tech are still crouch teching, but then it leads to your throw being exposed, and yeah, that's what happens. Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that, third strike. I know we have a lot of great things to say about that.
Of course.
Go for it. Please go for it.
I think Hayo was the best. Like, it didn't matter if you won or lost. It didn't matter if you got 4th place. My God, Hayo, baby. Ooh.
He really stole the show. I mean,
I created a modern EVO moment 37. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, to be honest, it's difficult to find something that can be said that hasn't already been said, but it is really interesting how, I don't know, like Hayo definitely forces those openings, and you like, even though like Hugo's like a low tier, you still feel really intimidated by him because you know that he has like the awareness and the ability to like carry you and force these horrible situations on you. Even though, you know, you feel like, oh, I should be winning this. This is like Hugo versus like Urian or like Hugo versus Ken or whatever.
Yeah.
Elena too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, he didn't win those, but you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah, it's the, you know, the Q phenomenon, you know? Like, we all know that Q is not the best, but in the right hands, good lord, you don't want to have that matchup. And it's already very significant, especially if you have, you know, characters that generally don't make top 6, obviously. You have like a bunch of Yuns and Chun-Lis, but then once you have a Hugo in top 6, then you know like this guy's to be reckoned with. Like there's no tier list that will define how far you will get other than this guy. Like this guy is the tier list. Like they're like you can play your Yuns and Chun-Li's all you want, but you got to get through him. You're playing that character. Like forget what you know about your matchup. Now it's who's this matchup, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against the player too, though. Like you know
Yeah,
that
for
when you're
sure.
playing against not Ken, not Chun, not Yun, not Makoto, you're playing against the player at that point, and all these players are really skilled, right? No matter what they're playing, but at the same time, you don't really know what to expect in in a game like Third Strike unless you've seen the matchup like often enough. So that's where I feel like actually, as Jebja was saying, like playing against Hugo in a way, because you know who the player is on the other side of you, is a lot more intimidating than just playing against Hugo. Like you're playing against Hugo from
like,
Hayo. Yeah.
Any other Hugo is like a bargain bin like Hugo by comparison. Like you could harass them as much as you want, but with Hayo you have to be scared because you know he's been in this for 2 decades, and you know that like he can randomly blow you up if he like parries a predictable poke or such.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It is kind of interesting that the parry ends up being a double-edged sword in that way because on one hand the parry allows you to like sort of I don't want to say like brute force, but you can definitely win otherwise unwinnable interactions just based on like you predicting your opponent's or tendencies better than they can predict yours. But on the other hand, it's also like further polarizes the game because like the characters that can actually get good punishes off of parries, you know, are going to do that and become even better.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Chun parries you just low for its super, it's just like, oh, ow,
Yeah.
ow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
But anyways, I'm not like super qualified to like give a ton of insight on this game, but there were plenty of other interesting things in this top 6 that like got kind of overshadowed by like Hayaf stealing the entire show.
yeah, that's
And
what
don't get me
happens.
wrong, he was so charismatic. It's like he deserves to steal the whole show. It's like
Right.
no one else is doing it better. But definitely there were other interesting things that deserve some notice.
Yeah, Resolve had a good run as well with Urian. I think people were rooting for him because he's the US, but I do think he had a good run. Like
Yeah.
Urian is a good
okay,
character.
so-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I have a few points about this in particular. Going into this top 6, it was really interesting to see like the relative like character diversity because we got like Tuchan, Yoon, Ken, Urian, and then Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I did want to see that Urian do something because I don't know. Maybe this is my personal bias, but like when I look at Street Fighter 3 and I see Urian, like I see a character that like he takes a ton of effort, but sometimes you end up getting stonewalled by just the characters better than you. And it's like, well, if I really want to put this much effort into the game, maybe I should just be playing Yoon instead and just like cheat my way through neutral anytime I get my shortest bar in the game super.
Yeah.
But you know, when a player actually does decide, you know what, damn it all, I'm going to do this. Like it's one of the most exciting things ever. And it did feel to me that like I don't know, when Resolve was playing in this top 6, he was a little bit paralyzed by Chiruti's Chun in that losers quarters semis. I think quarters. That losers quarters match.
Yeah, I think it was quarters. Yeah. Yep.
Because like, what did? Oh, what's up, man? Didn't expect to see you
Hi.
here. We're doing
Yeah,
this podcast right now.
I just remembered I had a link to this Discord. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? Yeah,
yeah.
welcome to the
Good, good.
conversation.
You came at the perfect time, actually. We were just discussing Third Strike top 8, or not top 8, top 6. I'm sure you had
Oh,
quite a bit to say about that.
Oh,
But yeah,
it was great.
as I was saying, it's kind of sad to me that we didn't get to see. There actually was an opportunity for him to go for some of the more interesting stuff mid-screen with like an Aegis unblockable, or at least like a ping pong setup. But overall,
You're
most of
talking
what we
about,
saw was just
Resolve?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Overall,
that's
most of what we saw from that set was just him putting up Mirror like right on top of Chun and just trying for 50-50 into death.
It's not a horrible idea. She
Right,
like,
it's not like a
even her
horrible
super,
idea, but it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't extract like the full cheapness of the character. It's almost a little too honest.
I can't really see what would be the real option he would choose outside of the 50-50s. Usually his end goal is get you in the corner, Aegis, 50-50 you. If it works, set up another Aegis. If it works, set up another Aegis. If it doesn't work, look silly, and hopefully you get another Aegis set up.
Yeah, but sure, but like Chiaruthi's defense was honestly really great during those interactions. It was like I honestly feel like he had like a 60-70% to block those 50-50s, which is definitely not enough to like skew or which is definitely more than enough to skew the odds in Chun's favor because she's just gonna harass Urin in neutral. The instant she has a bar, it's like really difficult.
That's very true.
Do you think the way, like, because they both build the same meter for their supers, right?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think their super bars are about the same.
Yeah. Okay, and like with that being said, like, do you think that they can still have the same number of meaningful interactions by spending the meter, or is just the damage from Chun-Li's super art too overwhelming?
It's not that the damage from Super Art 2 is necessarily too overwhelming, because Urin can definitely get comparable damage if he lands a juggle. It's just that with Urin, it's like you have to land certain like forcing hits or like put your opponent in certain situations where you can cash out the meter most effectively. But Chun like can just tap you and spend that meter right away.
Yeah.
Same idea with Yun, right? You just like activate off of blocks like Tetsuzanko. You just rando activate in neutral. You can like confirm the target combo, then activate, do a block to normal, activate. So it lends itself to a lot of flexibility that Urin doesn't necessarily have with his Aegis Reflectors. Because like if you just random activate it mid-screen, unlike Street Fighter V, where that actually like forces a mix-up because the mirror ping-pongs them back to you, it's like what are you going to do realistically?
Even if he like tackles in neutral and he even hits the tackle and goes straight into Aegis, he's not going to get much even then.
Yeah,
Unless
exactly.
you're like some weirdo. I think it's probably possible if like character specific. If there's a EX headbutt and it's a tall character, you could do
Like,
the EX mirror.
Yeah. For Chun, she only needs like a glimmer of an opportunity to like cash it in, but Urin actually needs like a window of it.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on the commentary? I thought this was the best commentary of Saturday. Jaewong is so good at commentating.
Is going ham on it.
Yeah.
Although it is kind of funny that he pronounced Canadian wrong every single time.
I did remember that.
But overall, yeah, like it was great of them to get Jaewong on. Honestly, he kind of carried that commentary block by himself.
I believe so too. I mean, he's such a great commentator. Like Marvel 3 as well. When he was doing solo commentary for the New York locals sometimes, like it's crazy how much game knowledge he has and like how he's able to like bring it in a very comprehensible way to like the viewers. Because a lot of the people that are watching this game are probably like just
it's either the first time they've watched Third Strike in a tournament setting.
Yeah, oh yeah. And there's a ton of like just, regular esports viewers that, watch for EVO but don't necessarily know fighting games, right? So
yeah, and to be honest, like you literally I don't think you could ask for a better commentator. Like he has obviously extended amounts of like actual experience in the game. He's like practiced that sort of like that personality and that like establishing a rapport with his audience.
Mm-hmm.
And he really just like has it all. Like everyone knows him, everyone loves him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the commentary was great. Vicious also did well. Like, especially for the what's it called? There was the 720 moment. That's what I have on the screen right now on the stream.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that was D1.
Yeah. And then there was also, of course, the moment 38. I think Vicious handled the hype for those moments quite well too. It's hard to know what to say when those things happen. But in the end, the hype speaks for itself.
Said is it was hype, capital H. That shit was sick.
Yeah.
I'm just like amazed how he got the 720 on the other side. Like if Ken was on one side and he had the 720 coming, I'd understand. But he was on the other side of Hugo, and that would I can't imagine hitting that.
Yeah, you have to be like some level of steps ahead in order to get that. Yeah. Anything else? Like, I guess I have a comment about the setups. They were super guns from right here, right?
The last thing that has to be mentioned about the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And again, it's just one of the other things that got completely overshadowed by the mere existence of Hayao and his beautiful swag.
Right.
But yeah, MOV playing Elena for actually most of top 6, only switching off Elena when Issei like forced him to by resetting grand finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely don't think MOV is getting enough credit for that, 'cause that shit was crazy.
It was really impressive. I think the consistency where he was able to like find a gap and how he was like trying to get him out of the corner was really impressive. Like I don't even know how he escaped some of it. Elena's super jump is massive, but even still, I was trying to defend that shit for his life. He couldn't get him away.
Yeah, even when he backed himself into a corner, it was all just a part of his strategy in the end.
There's always a way he slipped out. I don't even know how he slimed his way out the corner every time. It's impressive. And
not even into the Hugo too, but he played it into Issei's Yoon like in winners and like actually won before that grand finals adaptation.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was like watching the Chirathi versus Resolve match again, and I'm just fucking amazed how on Resolve after hitting a tackle, he was about to press a button, and Chirathi simply crouching jabbed Super 2. Like,
oh yeah,
that
crouching jab Super 2 was completely insane.
That is the most nonsense. I wonder if he like had a feeling he's going to mistime it. Like, I want to find out why that was the decision.
No, that jab is kind of broken, honestly. The range plus speed is completely insane.
It's not really the most wisest choice as like a wake up button, especially against Ursine. Like, if you catch you pressing a button and you're not guessing correctly, it's gonna hurt. But like, he was also like no health at all while doing that as well. That is so fucking brave. It's crazy.
That's why they're up there on the stage, and we're just like sitting here, talking about it.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was just talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna mention the setups they used for Third Strike. It took them a while to set it up, which makes sense in knowing now what it took for him, because they needed to use custom super guns. Apparently, they're provided by Arcade. I can't remember the name of the group, but it was like Arcade something.
Arcade Shock?
Not Arcade Shock. I think it starts with the P, the second word for them. But yeah, they like had a way for you to plug in your controller. It seemed that they were quite portable based on the images, and then of course, it rendered quite well.
Really, They're really fabulous machines. They're like briefcase size almost. Almost, but they're still CRTs.
That's great. Seems like something that Melee players should consider instead of lugging the entire CRT for their setups.
To be honest, it still is really funny seeing them holding a SpongeBob CRT in public. I think that shouldn't be undercut or removed. That's why they should get a SpongeBob briefcase for their CRT. Actually, I think that's the newest tech.
Double down
Yeah.
on that.
But overall, it seemed like a success logistically. Like, given all the challenges you have with running an old game like Third Strike, and you want to run it in a reasonable way, this seemed like a decent way to do it while avoiding the need for like you still use the physical hardware, but you don't need to bring the entire arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. Okay.
Speedruns are like
mhm.
just a pleasure. They're just amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if I were like a huge Third Strike fan, I probably would have nerded out over seeing those. But yeah, regardless, good to see that they were able to take it on the challenge to run Third Strike logistically. Okay, I think we've concluded our thoughts on Saturday's top sixes, unless we have anything else.
I
Are we
believe
just
that's it,
stopping?
yeah.
We come on. We have to go over Street Fighter 6 and Tekken.
Yeah, I said
8.
Saturday.
Come
I
on.
said Saturday. Chill.
Oh,
chill.
Saturday. I'm sorry.
Okay, Sunday now. Sunday.
Sunday.
So
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch any of the Sunday matches. I was just like, I went straight to the arcades after playing my little bracket of SDBZ. So it'd be kind of interesting to hear.
yeah. Okay. Sunday. What did it start with?
Grand Blue.
Grand Blue. Okay.
Grand Blue, I believe 10-ish.
I missed that. I didn't watch it.
Wait, 10-ish doesn't sound right, actually. Well, it was
No,
it was
no, it
8
was 10. It was most definitely 10.
Okay,
When I checked the schedule, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch Grand Blue. I didn't watch Grand Blue.
Yeah, I
Um,
completely missed
Did
this.
any of us watch it? I don't think any of us watched it.
No.
I
I
mean-
know my friend watched it.
I was
I'm
actually-
great apologies to all Grand Blue players out there. I got nothing for you. I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I
I was
think
at the arcades. I couldn't. I didn't.
I will say, like, from my thoughts on the game before the like Evo took place, this game's a little boring to watch, but I guess it's got a pretty solid player base, and the balance looks much better than it did at launch based on the representation of the top six. Nier's not tearing through every character anymore, but that's to be expected to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Grand Blue. Yeah, Goku was on stage, and he was fighting off Naruto. I can't do it.
All right.
How many levels did he have to go?
Yeah, I mean, I say this right, but there was still in the top three Belial, Percival, and Nier. So maybe not as much has
Also
changed about
just
the
looking at
balance.
Twitter sometimes, but I do see some people as being like, "Oh, hey, Nier sucks." Oh, Nier. So she's like still the undisputed top tier, right?
Seems like it, I guess. I mean, everyone's gonna whine, right? But yeah, it seems like she's still really strong, just not like so overbearing anymore. But yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue.
I find it kind of hard to have like interest in Grand Blue versus, and I don't know why. It just seems too basic.
Oh
maybe?
yeah. I mean, Rising
It's-
especially.
It's super hard to get into. I don't even know how to like describe why. Maybe if I like care for Grand Blue as an IP more, maybe. But I don't care.
In Japan, it's
Did
definitely
any-
pretty
did any
big.
of y'all- Did any of y'all
Yeah.
watch Strive?
I did not.
Only like literally the grand finals.
Me
That shit
too.
was hype.
Yeah, Grand Finals
What-
was
what-
great.
what characters?
Jacko and Soul, was it?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder I was hearing a lot about domestic violence.
Wife hit back. Wife hit back.
Dude.
wife.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Jacko. Well, I mean, forget about Jacko winning, Nitro winning. I don't think
Yes.
anyone expected that. Like, yeah, Nitro's good, but I guess Strive, like, you can't really have expectations of who's gonna win at all, because it's truly anyone can win,
I
right?
mean, there's that, but also like the character choice. I'm like, Saul top 6, not surprising. Jacko top 6, now that's
Jacko is
surprising.
surprising.
Yeah, yeah,
To sink Jacko anywhere near top 6 is pretty impressive alone.
yeah, absolutely.
She's historically been like pretty difficult to really, I'd say, get far with.
Yeah. Also, Red Ditto had a pretty strong run. I believe he was one of the top finishers at Slashback, because I remember seeing him at Slashback. I don't remember his placing in Strive there, but seeing that he made top 3, was it, in this tournament? Good for him. The Zoomers are strong in Strive.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
um I mean, yeah, seeing Asuka on main stage is funny, I guess. I didn't watch that match, but apparently
I
Asuka was there.
watched that match actually. I fucking love Asuka. Asuka's like the only reason I play the game.
Oh, let's
so
go.
far.
No, that's sick. That's cool. I rock that. Yeah, that was in losers quarters, as well as I believe an earlier match too. The commentators had trouble saying ooey gooey chewy snicker.
I cannot blame them.
Yeah.
I hope like there's one day a bracket full of just tongue twisters.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, EGP, what's up? Or
What's up,
I
Rig?
got baited.
Raleigh.
I got. Sorry,
We're
Rig.
just
What's
talking
up,
about
Rig?
everyone's favorite party game, Guilty Gear
Oh.
Strive.
I see.
Do you,
I did hear that one of the
Oh.
top placers, it was like his first like offline event. I think it's Jack.
that makes
Well, it
sense.
ain't no Guilty Gear Isuka, so that's pretty decent, I guess. That's sweet though.
That was Happy Chaos Player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. There are a lot of Zoomers in the top 6. Well, I say a lot, but like really 2, I guess. But that's a lot still. Rig, you were there. We talked about the top 6s. We talked about the day 3 experience. Do you have any comments on either of those things?
The day 3 arena experience was basically terrible, but I think that's been covered already, right?
Yeah, we talked about
yes,
that.
to a great extent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean Jeb was there. I'm pretty sure he could cover that for me.
right.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. Anything on the top 6s from Saturday or
I
Sunday?
mean Saturday. That was KLF and MK.
KOF
and
MK
Uni.
Uni third circle.
Okay,
Oh,
I
the
was
Uni
there
bracket.
for the KLF grand finals and like half of MK, and then I dipped.
Mm-hmm.
KLF grand finals was a speed run. That was cool.
Yeah.
Shanghai with his like stick that he won from last year, using that for this year and winning again was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Truly a legend.
Wait, the Halo brackets went that fast? What the fuck was
It was like
what-
a 3-0 from winner's side, right? Or 3-1.
Grand
everyone forgot
finals.
their-
Yeah.
Everyone forgot
Yeah.
how to block.
Well, no, ET just got bodied. That's really what it was.
Damn.
Yeah. Shahai was like, "Oh, you play geese? My geese is better," and he
Yep.
beat him.
Yep.
Counterpick the geese with geese. It's true. It's really a flock. That's fucked up.
MK with basically one cameo the entire top 6. Basically one of them, I think. I didn't watch the whole thing, and then I heard it ended with a mirror grand final, so that was pretty sleeper. Good
Okay.
thing I left.
Did you watch any Uni or Third Strike?
I was not there for Union 3S. I was like playing casuals, I think.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah.
Uni was really fun.
Yeah. We talked at length about that. So I want to give some space for the other games still. How about Sunday? Were you able to catch any of the Sunday games?
I watched like the Grand Blue stream passively. I watched Strive while I was in line in the arena, and then once I couldn't get into the arena, I just watched the Tekken top 6 at like a restream stage or whatever.
Yeah,
Game
it was the
Lounge or
Kitty
whatever.
Lounge.
Yeah, that thing.
Ah, okay. Any thoughts on the Grand Blue?
I don't really play that game, so I'm not really.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, none of us really know much about Grand Blue, I guess. Okay.
I will say, like, I know it's like Aaron Demac, like the guy he won Grand Blue. It's his side game. He wanted to win Strive more, but he won his he won his side game over
Yeah,
his
it
main
was.
game.
Mickey Mouse game,
Yeah.
huh?
Mickey Mouse game.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, I'll mention this. I thought the Strive commentary is pretty solid. Um, I I think Proxy doesn't prefer Strive commentary, like as his game of choice to commentate, of course. But I mean, they have so many commentators for other games, so it's just like we'll just throw him in. But he did a good job along with Ringe. Thought it was good. Given it
Yeah,
Strive.
is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Tekken 8.
All right, now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much watched the entirety of the Tekken games from like round one pulls to um to grand finals. Um, I actually had a couple friends who were playing, like for example, a guy named TK. He was playing against Keisuke, who got second place at CEO this year. Um, and that was a very funny experience because I was very close to coaching him, but I had another friend who was a better coach than I was because I was just like, hey TK, you're gonna lose. There's no hope.
Man,
just take the L and just move on, But keep in mind
What
this
do
is
I, what do I do? Do I block this? Do I do this? No, you lose.
but keep in mind this is round two. So round two pulls. So he's pretty good. He actually got one match off of Keisuke, which is already a win for in our books. Go USA, baby. Um, but I will say that there is already a defined meta, and I think everyone was very aware of it. And it's Dragunov was already the top pick of the entire tourney, which isn't very surprising because the game was literally made for him.
Right.
I will say that there were some very fun, matchups like Speed Kicks versus K-Wiz. So they're both Hwoarang players. Speed Kicks prefers to play Nina because he also believes that Nina is also a top tier. K-Wiz I think plays someone else. But
Fang
when you have
plays Fang.
two of them, yeah, he plays Fang. I now remember he plays Fang.
I thought he stick to Hwoarang exclusively.
Well, yeah, but he also
Till
plays
now.
Fang.
Oh, that's
So
probably secondary just for like situations like that.
yeah. But when you have two of them on stage, now you want fun. Now who's the better Hwoarang player, So
Yeah. The
so
vibe
yeah, it was all
changed
fun.
completely.
There were plenty of disappointments. Like JDCR not making top six. He
Oh, he
made
drowned a
There were a lot
top
of
eight.
crazy upsets, I will
Yeah,
say.
but I think that as the time went on, just watching Pakistan just demolish, pretty much all the all the competitors, and it was unfortunate just to see not unfortunate. It was more like you have specialists like Nobi and JDCR who like to play Dragon Up like the entire majority of the entire life, and then you have Atif who just speed runs the entire winners final, just in the
Yeah.
winners lane, just with Dragon Up because he's that good, he's that gifted. There's no it doesn't even matter if you didn't use Dragon Up, he's that good.
Atif's
And then
animation is just crazy. Like I would
yeah,
see Nobi do some tech that I've never seen before with a Oki tackle, and then Atif would steal that tech the next match. It was actually ridiculous.
yeah. And then finally you have Arslan, who's in his Doomer days, was oh, I don't think Tekken 8's for me. Oh, I'm struggling in
That
Tekken. All
is
of a sudden,
over.
yeah, and then all of a sudden he's in top six, and he's like, shit, I have to face Atif. I don't want this anymore, and we all know, I'm not gonna pretend that Atif didn't give a good fight, good fight. It's just that it's hard to see two of them trying to get number one, but we all know, but it's just it's just two of them. And you have NA's, nobody in NA's in there, not even you, Like Europe is in there as well. It's just Korea, Japan, and Pakistan.
I just
And
thought it was disappointing. Top six, just like I don't know. I guess it's
yeah,
not like fun to watch like a country just completely dominate overall, and then it's like also there was every top six match had a Dragonov in it, which doesn't really
yeah.
add to that.
I mean,
Oops, all
looking,
Dragonov.
yeah, it was
Basically.
like we had 3 Dragonovs.
Three, but how the matches played out was basically every match of top six had a Dragonov in it.
That's
Yeah.
really stinky. I'm sorry to hear that.
Like I liked the character, and I was like, man, I'm sick of this character.
Yeah, like speed kicks was literally our last hope. Because if I'm looking at Jimmy Tran, he's not some, and I'm saying this as a spectator, he's not someone who will deep dive into, um, like like playing someone rather than the character. And I think he's spending a lot more time with personal things. Instead, he's more focusing on like just trying to get through the game. Meanwhile, you have Speed Kicks, who's trying to like fight through his way, being the last representative um of NA, but unfortunately he got beat. So there's not much you can say about that. But I will say that even though top six was dominating with too many Dragonovs, I would say, or just like pretty much the entirety of you know the game with Dragonov, I think it's just like very monumental that Arslan finally managed to come out on top playing Nina, and it was a very tight match. Like it came to the point where at Atif like switched to Feng Wei, and he was like smoothing. Like I was just like, where did this movement come from? And it was just throwing up Arslan himself. But still, Arslan managed to win, and you know what? It's a good game. Like Tekken is still fun at the end of the day, and I can't ask for anything else. So
Any other thoughts? Tekken 8 top 8. Or I got baited. Top 6.
Yeah.
I guess the reveal wasn't Marduk,
thank God.
but I don't really like Mishima's either. So
Ooh.
Oh,
So the whole purpose of Reina being in the game was to function.
it also like
well, she still
What's it
plays
called?
different from Heihachi, even still. Like,
yeah, it's like strings and stuff. But even then, like the whole point of like Kazuya killing Heihachi and Tekazan now has like zero impact.
Yeah, I was thinking like, huh.
And I thought, oh, the voice actor died. Maybe they can like actually like kill him for real, and they just didn't. And I'm like, that's kind of lame.
it's
to be honest.
really lame. Like it feels almost disrespectful. Almost. It really fucking sucks. I wish they didn't go that way.
I
It is
mean,
what it is though.
SNK did it with Mature and Vice after all. I guess everyone loves doing it.
They're mature in Vice. They're gonna bring them back no matter what bullshit reason.
Yeah, true. I mean, they're also like fan favorites, so there's that.
Either gonna do it like that or just make Nightmare fucking mature advice.
Oh dear.
Give it the eye patch and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
They got their legacy costumes though. That's cool. But yeah, sorry, off topic. Commentary. Oh dear. I think Tasty Steve is a good commentator, but then this top 6, like,
Make some noise.
yeah.
Make some noise.
I
Get some
still-
noise
I
in the
still love it.
background.
I still love it, but like, it could get a little extra.
Yeah.
I mean, he overdid it. That's the thing. Like,
He did overdo it.
and
Let's
he's
go Tekken.
yeah. I think he's a good commentator, but not
Harris,
like this.
please come back. We know you don't want to do commentary anymore. Please come back.
Yeah, and I saw on Cappuccino, I rarely check that anymore, but I saw on Cappuccino, people were saying Rip was better than Tasty C for this top 6. That's unbelievable.
That's something.
Yeah.
That is something.
I don't think Rip is a bad commentator.
He's not, but he's not a fan favorite, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Rip is a fine commentator, but carried by Tasty Steve usually. But I don't know about this time. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Tekken 8 out the way. Congrats to Arslan. Yeah, another Evo, dude. It's becoming too free for him.
No, he has to work for it, like,
Yeah, true,
and
true.
also, Fragfest winner.
True. Fragfest major winner. Major right there. Yeah, well, that's the 4th Evo for him.
Fifth Evo win.
Wow. I mean, it has to be the modern Tekken GOAT. I still put Neo above him, like, overall in Tekken, but
Who, Knee?
yeah, I'd still
Oh,
put Neo above
yeah.
him, like,
He
in terms of
lost
all
to
of
Joe
Tekken.
Crush.
No, I'm not saying Neo, like,
And
right
then-
now, but I'm saying, like, all time.
Overall.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, he's got to get his. I mean, it's not like he's bad. It's just that he hasn't caught up yet. So,
Okay, maybe it's misunderstood. That's okay. Like, all I'm saying is that Arslan is the modern tech, like Tekken 7, Tekken 8. Maybe he was better. I don't know, but it's clear that he's dominant recently in Tekken. So I'll give him that.
yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, Street Fighter 6, the youngster
Ooh,
Ending
baby.
Walker debut at Evo,
Ooh, baby.
bearing the esports.
All right. I think I'm gonna. You guys can finish this without me.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright.
Thanks for joining the conversation, Jojo. Yeah, Ending Walker's debut on Evo, bearing the Mouse Sports jersey. There was also, Punk with FlyQuest. There was no Mena, by the way, no Mena.
Yeah, 17th place.
Yep. I mean, it's not surprising. The game is different. Like even compared to like Capcom Cup this year, the game is different. So everything that you did before is not necessarily going to work with all the Bison and Ed that people are running.
Yep.
So, I'm still surprised Punk won though. Punk is a known choker, and Momochi kind of has his number, or I shouldn't say his number, but I should say Momochi's been really good lately, and I thought he would beat Punk, but
Yeah.
Hopefully, this will cause Punk to change for a better,
I hope
not
so
be a
too.
whiny baby online like he always is.
Yeah. I mean,
My
will
day
say
is
that-
ruined, man. I can't with this game, man.
you don't like Street Fighter 6?
I will say that Punk brought a different kind of energy, when he was playing Street Fighter 6, like the way he carried himself and the way he just like, played the overall time. But yeah, like I guess he didn't choke this time. It was Big Bird who choked.
Yep. Yeah, speaking of which, Big Bird definitely was devastated after losing in the grand finals. Punk's first thing wasn't a pop off. It was like, I've been there before, kind of comforting Big Bird
Yeah.
because of all the times Punk's gotten second. Yeah, like I could see that like Punk is a lot different than when he first entered the scene in Street Fighter 5. It's cool. It's cool. Winning Evo in Street Fighter 6, let's put it this way, it's not easy. Street Fighter 6 is a stressful game. I think that's what Love and Peace you were kind of hinting at. But yeah, this is the stressful game to play at the highest level. It's not the same level of stress as Street Fighter 5, but
No, not at all.
yeah,
It's a real lock-in type of game, and once they get in your head, it feels like a permanent ailment in an RPG.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah, you gotta have so much focus in Street Fighter 6. Like you can't like autopilot, or like, I shouldn't say autopilot, but you can't like fall asleep. You can't get caught not paying enough attention because there are so many like layer 1 things that are effective. I mean, we don't see as much like raw drive rush anymore, but there's still some things you got to check, like drive impacts being thrown out of block stun.
Yeah.
You just got to be ready for those if you want to consider them something easy to deal with. And pros to this day still get hit by them, so it shows how effective it is, even when you're like locked in, so to speak. And Oh my goodness! Speaking of drive impact, that was a raw drive impact Punk did. We're watching on the stream right now, but yeah, and then the fact that every player spends all the resources for kill combos means that you really can't slip up on your confirms. Like if you mess up your opportunity, your opponent's going to kill you the next chance. So
Yeah.
it's a very focus heavy game, and for how many players are entered in this kind of tournament, it's tough to play it out the full however many sets you got to play to get to top 6. Xiao mentioned that he was focused on SF6 and he made it pretty far. He made it to top 24. I can't remember who he lost to, but he made it to top 24 winners, and unfortunately the run kind of ended there. Any other notable runs? Did you guys have any like surprises about Street Fighter 6 this year, or it went about how you expected?
I can't say myself, but I didn't really watch too much streams at the moment, especially for Sunday. I wasn't going stream crazy that day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's so much to catch. It's just too much going on, especially if
At that
you're
point,
there.
I kind of gave up I gave up on the arena completely.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. They have some things to figure out for the arena next year, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, why not just have it like at Mandalay Bay? Like at Mandalay, I don't know if it was more in total. It possibly wasn't, but definitely need more space than that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they should just rent like a proper venue depending on how many tickets they sell.
Yeah.
Like including spectator badges. And they should just like lock them down to like an early date so they can secure a venue earlier. I don't know. Cause you can sign up for Evo like pretty late. At least in my opinion. I feel like you can sign up for it pretty late.
Right. They make the like last minute registration pretty late, and it's expensive too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, oh yeah, before I mention what I was gonna say. Commentary was good. Yipes. Oh, his voice. Poor guy.
Oh no.
That was unfortunate, wasn't it?
Oh man.
Did his voice
Yeah.
screw up?
His voice was shot for the majority of the top 6, yeah. Like
Oh,
it was gone. Yeah.
I know Junis showed up in like day 1. He got sick.
I
So
heard
he
about
was-
that.
Sagem got insta COVID. That sucks.
So he was in the hotel for the entire weekend. And then he flew back.
It sucks. Ugh. Yeah, you were supposed to be a block with him and Sagem doing commentary for Strive.
Yeah.
I think Sagem did solo commentary for that.
He did.
Yeah, I remember seeing. Yeah, so yeah, definitely gotta take good care of yourself when you're going here, because yeah,
Gotta
Yipes.
check for
Mhm.
COVID because like some of my buddies said they had some
Yeah.
from the tournament.
Yeah, I heard Sero caught it too. It seems like, I mean, it's just classic Evola, right? But especially post 2022, it seems like, because after 2022 it grew a ton, so a lot of people are traveling there, and then obviously the regulations around COVID are a lot less stringent now, so you have to be even more watchful than before. But Yipes' voice was pretty rough during that top 6. It's okay though. Like, I don't think his commentary suffered, but it was a little hard. It was a little hard to listen to him. And Sagem did a good job still, as usual.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's suffices to say about the top 6. We can talk about the announcements, I guess. Thought this was like a pretty weak year for announcements.
Before we transition, I just
Yeah.
wanted to note that like the way Endwalker was just like also going through ending Walker going through top 6, like when he lost to Big Bird told him like, listen man, this is your first time debuting, so just play the game. So I'm thinking that Anywalker's just like locked in, and he started just annihilating the losers bracket, and then he meets Big Bird, and he's like, "Yeah, your time has come. Time to go, buddy." You know?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Andy Walker's still pretty new to the scene in general. Like, I'm pretty sure he started with Street Fighter 6,
Yeah.
so he'll get used to it. But this is definitely a great showing for him. I mean, we already knew he was good, but yeah, this proves it for sure. Okay, announcements. I, for one, will say I was disappointed. I mean, there were some good things announced, but it was underwhelming given its Evo. Like, you would think a lot of the companies would have prepared better for announcements this year, but it seems they're more focused on Chipotle ads and rock paper scissors rather than actual announcements. What do you guys think?
Those felt like glorified ad breaks, and I feel like the reason was because of that big ass delay for Third Strike.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to fill in that gap of like, do we go full silence or do we make up shit on stage?
Yeah.
Like Justin Wong and do rock paper scissors, and what do you know? You win a PS5 and a Victrix, sponsored by AT&T. That sucks, man.
That's more than some of the top 6 finishers, by the way.
That's dude. If no. Here's the thing: like, if top 6 went home with a PS5, then it's worth something. But no, it's just like,
Yeah.
what is this shit?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could just pair this along with like the announcements, ad experience. I don't know. How do we want to call it? Like that? I guess the anyway.
The thing about it actually
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
the Street Fighter 6 Terry trailer.
Mhm.
Oh God.
I've been thinking, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with the first season pass trailer. I think if they revealed this newest trailer first instead of the entire season pass trailer, I think it would have been even. I feel like the hype would have been more. Like, it would have been less. Ooh, Terry, nice, nice trailer. I feel like it would have been more hyped if they decided to reveal all the guest characters with that. That's just what I think. I don't know. I was really impressed by any of the trailers as well.
All
I
right.
yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I thought I was gonna like, let's go like one game one by one.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure. That makes it easy.
let's start with I guess Grand Blue.
What did Grand Blue get? I don't even know.
They got this red demon woman thingy. I don't know.
Let me go back to it.
It's like a new zoner.
A news owner.
Why am I
Oh,
Well,
that
the
wrong?
zoners in Grand Blue are historically not good.
The zoner's only okay if it's a Gyat out of 10. If not, bad zoner. If so, good zoner.
Is that so?
Not really. It just lessens the hate a little bit.
No, yeah, I know I'm playing, but yeah. Oof. Yeah, so okay, I got a screenshot. Version 1.5, or not a screenshot, but like I've got the right frame for the pause. Version 1.5 arriving August 20th. New DLC Versusia. New story episodes, new stage, balance adjustments, Grandmaster rank, new online lobby minigame, new Grand Brews game mode, new battle pass, and much, much more. So it sounds like a lot, but I didn't really.
Grand Blue Battle Pass.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I didn't hear much fanfare around this anyway on Twitter, so it seemed like your run-of-the-mill Grand Blue update. But if we don't have anything else to talk about that, then we can move on to Strive. Strive had exciting news. I would say at least.
Strive. Wow.
Dizzy Venom. I don't know about
Dizzy
that.
Oh, yeah.
That new character. Whatever. I don't care. But
People say that's like they saw like a Justice silhouette
oh,
for like a second in the
Character's
yeah.
Unico, right?
I think people were like speculating that like the weapon she's holding is like a piece of like Justice.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's that they're bringing back the some returning characters, which is great. I feel like that's a good sign for the longevity of the game. I don't care about Strive, but for the Strive players, it's a good sign still.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, season 4 is no joke. Like that's 4 seasons of this game that was like the hit game for Arc System Works of late. So yeah, good for them. I'm personally mostly excited for Venom because that's the character I've always wanted to be in Strive. I just want to see how they transfer Venom over to Strive's system.
Really well, actually.
I think
And
they'll
that-
do
I
it
really like the thought of it
justice
in the game.
because, well, like the season 3 Strive characters were actually like pretty fine with being Strivified. Like Johnny was like transferred over pretty well. I wouldn't say he's like absolutely gutted like Sin was for a season 2 character, but season 3 I feel like they really nailed the characters, like a good balance of like being easier but still like keeping like a good core of their identity.
Yeah, that's agreeable. You know, Dizzy on the other hand, they have. I'm sure they're gonna be tame with it because, I mean, as you know, plus our Dizzy's quite.
Usually Dizzy screwed up.
Yeah.
If
mean,
she's
yeah.
not screwed up, she's kind of bad.
They might have a hard time transferring over in a Strive way, put it that way. Like, I'm sure not many people will be too bothered by it, but I mean, I could see them removing like the flame portion of her moveset, or at least like the extra moves that she had for the flame portion of her moveset in the Exart era, and just retaining the like ice portion for those moves, and then make separate moves for the fire portion. And then I don't know if the ice fish they might even like simplify it to like 3
I feel
versions.
Like they'll rework it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did kind of expect the Slayer rework. I did kind of think like, oh, they're gonna make BDC like its own special move, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
Basically like a DP now.
That's funny. It's interesting. Dizzy's design, I guess, warranted. You know, it's 2024 now. I think Dizzy's old design doesn't fly with a lot of people. So, or I should say it doesn't fly with like the Strive style of like modernizing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Given like Eno, you know, what they did to Eno, what they did to Testament, even Johnny, dare I say. So yeah. We'll see. I'm interested in what they'll do.
Johnny did retain all of his design, which was pretty cool.
Oh, okay. That I guess so. Yeah, I had seen a little bit of the gameplay and it seemed like stratification was indeed applied to him. But
It was, but like I feel like it's fine with how he plays. It's
okay.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So yeah, Strive. Maybe Strive had probably the best announcement. I'm gonna be real. Like I don't know.
Announcing 4 characters at once is pretty baller.
Yeah. Like I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but I think Strive did have the best news this weekend. Okay.
Lucy from Cyberpunk 2077. Ooh wee.
Yeah, all the weebs go crazy over
Oh
that
yes.
one.
That was like the most unexpected character to come out. Like of all I didn't know, Guilty Gear did guest characters in the first place. I was just
Oh,
like,
this
did
is the first
until
time there's
now.
like really a guest character, right?
yeah. So
Gotta capitalize.
yeah, I mean, they didn't put, you know, David in the was his name David? Yeah, they didn't put him in the game, so they just put like Lucy. It was just like of all characters, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Lucy. It's just like of all guest characters, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, that's really real.
Why not put I don't know Terry from or
No,
Goku?
Terry.
I'm pretty sure it's Edge Runners, not 2077.
I mean, it's the point still stands that they should have brought Terry or Goku of all people.
Hello, BlazBlue's right there, dude. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
that's true.
Dead.
Ragnar
Mobile
Blood
game
Edge,
now.
man.
Yeah, you're right. It's dead, basically. Team of 3 mode, by the way.
Dude, so
Yay!
bad.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a goofy party game mode,
It's
but
like
it's fitting.
way
Yeah.
overcomplicated, and like I read through the design document multiple times. I still don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
You
party
share a
game at the
life
end of the day.
bar, and you have 8 preset assists you can choose from, and there's also character-specific assists, and there's different rules depending on if your character is a main character or an assist character. It's so I don't get it.
I thought it was a copy and paste 3v3 type of mode. Like just put the characters in, and I didn't know there's gonna be changes like that. That's pretty interesting.
There's a lot of. They also added matchmaking only for the 3v3 mode. There's no matchmaking for the regular ranked mode, of course. You know, because they got to preserve the tower experience that their fans love. You know,
Dude, oh man, I
Pretty
still
sure
remember.
matchmaking has finally been added to Guilty Gear Strive.
to the side mode. Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, I still remember the options select article where it's like this 2D indie platformer has neat
Oh,
fighting
yeah.
game mini game. It's so funny. Okay. So that was Strive, and then Tekken 8. What did Tekken 8 even get announced for it?
Heihachi.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that was it. No wonder I forgot. Yeah.
And TWT. Woo!
Oh yeah. It's
Okay,
Japan
that's
now,
hype. Shibuya, yeah, that's sick. I feel like that's a great place for people to want to go to for the
especially
finals,
when it's so cheap.
right?
So it's
Yes.
really
It's
convenient.
literally
for
perfect.
supporters.
I like literally I wouldn't even mind like if I'm already doing something over there. I wouldn't mind just checking it out because I do plan on going back to Japan soon. But that's a great location they picked. I did like the idea of them having it in New Orleans though, because the promo material around that was cool. But I feel like this is cool
They
too.
can still do that here.
Yeah.
Show like off like restaurants or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So that's this year, right? That's the end of this year.
Yes, December.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe I can't make that, but yeah. Still cool. Okay, and then yeah, we were talking about SF6. So back to Saturday. KOF 15 had Mature and Vice. I was excited. I was super hyped because I saw that while I was watching the stream, and I was like,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, the SNK panel. They're like, "Hey, what's this silhouette? Yada yada yada." Boom.
Yeah.
Mature and Vice.
I saw artwork of Mature, Vice, and Duck King.
Yes, that's the one.
that's my favorite one. I wish Duck King was actually there. I would have been so joyous. This man has
Yeah.
been gone for 20 years. Well, near 20 years
AOF
almost.
11, baby.
I thought
Was
the
his last debut.
I thought the intro for KO 15 was a little bit too like okay, maybe it's just not catered to me, but it's too like K-pop esque, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Better all expectations. Also, we're bringing him a Mature and Vice. Woo.
Every time the game shows up, every single time.
It's very.
Wake me up when they
show
bring
it.
back Adahide.
Hey, I have a new
Got a few
character
more
hopefully.
years to go. Don't worry.
I hope Mature is good in this game because this is pretty hype. Yeah. So yeah, the fact that it's getting support at KOF 15 for the support is a relief for the KOF fans. I still think the American FGC doesn't care though. I'm gonna be so real. Like American FGC doesn't care enough about SNK games. So
I think
Nope.
it's starting to care.
No,
barely, dude, barely.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But you know, at least everywhere else in the world, especially like China, Japan, Southeast Asia,
Mexico.
Mexico, South America, all of those regions, they
definitely got
care a
some
lot.
ways to go when it comes to caring.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have to wait for City of the Wolves come out, and then they'll start caring. You know.
Well, one step
You know.
closer. One step closer.
There was the SVC reveal.
True. A lot of people didn't like. I mean, they didn't receive it negatively, but were like not super hyped because like they're like, oh, the game is bad. You know, it's like bad fighting game.
I did play it in like the back of a Mexican restaurant, ironically enough.
But
But I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know.
I don't think it's that bad. I think people complain a little too much about SNK games in the US. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
No,
I,
no,
I looked.
no.
I thought it
Gotta
was
wait for
funny.
Ted to go
I
over
looked
it,
up.
man.
I looked up a tier list for that game, and I found 0 as top 1. I'm like, man, some things never change.
I mean,
I
okay,
thought Alien was top tier, you know?
it's not a balanced game, but it's still a fine game, dude. It's got
Oh
all
no,
the
I
KOF
bet, yeah.
isms.
Goofy
Yeah.
game for $20.
Yeah, yeah. And dude,
Probably
it's
like similar appeal to 3S, where it's like it's not balanced, but the people that like it really like it.
yeah, and you have to remember, like, this is getting the Code Mystics treatment. This is just an omen for what's to come. Or I shouldn't say omen, but like this is foreshadowing, okay?
Yeah.
We're getting that new CVS game, Copium.
No, like we are going to get it. There's no
I don't
doubt
think
in our
so.
in our minds that it's gonna
Games
come out.
cost so much to make, and they take so much time. I don't think they would do it.
I think they
I mean,
will. I think they
I think
will.
they'll
They
port
will.
the old ones.
They
I don't think they'll
will.
make a new one.
Dude, I mean, I think they will. There's no reason for them to re-release SVC Chaos of all games.
Yeah.
This is like
I feel like-
practice for Code Mystics,
I mean,
dude.
they re-released
I felt like I was
Marvel. It
tweaking.
doesn't
I
mean
was
they're
just-
gonna get new Marvel games.
I was
Oh.
just playing Third Strike, and I look up at my screen. I'm like, what are those? What are those KOF characters doing? On the back of my mind, I was like, is this a new game? And then I realized it was SVC Chaos, and I just went.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
They're gassing up the stinkiest person in the room.
Yeah. I mean, but I think Code Mystics don't waste their effort. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is
Yeah.
practice, clearly. Like, they're trying to get them warmed up for the new Capcom versus SNK game, okay? Just trust me.
It is objectively good that there's a SVC Chaos port, because you could play the game.
Yeah.
It's better than not being able to like play a game that even if you don't like it or not.
You couldn't emulate it?
Oh, when you
use
could.
Nightgate, but for people for consoles,
Oh, okay.
there's practically zero option at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
only like a PS2 or the Xbox, you know?
Yeah, now you can like run a tournament offline for it reasonably.
Oh no.
How did they
So-
run Plus R then?
I mean, plus R they have the PCs for them,
Yeah.
but it's not emulated. No, but it's not emulated. Like you know how they are with emulating. So
Oh.
yeah, I mean, because even for Third Strike, they didn't emulate that. They used
Yeah,
the
they used,
CPS3 hardware with Super Guns. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is customized, but it's not emulated still. Okay. So MK, I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. Did MK get any
They didn't
news?
reveal anything.
Takeda.
Literally nothing.
They said they're saving it for Comic-Con,
Funny. All right.
so that's
Yeah.
you know where their priorities are. So.
Yeah. They don't.
WB baby.
They did show
Alright.
like a multiversus character, but like,
Oh yeah, true. Samurai Jack or some shit.
yeah. But I'm like, get out of here. You don't belong here.
Okay. Uni. So we got the new character announced, Uzuki. She does not look like she belongs in the game, but that's a trend for the new Uni characters, to be honest. But in a positive way. I'd say this time it's in a positive way. She looks like a very unique character design, straight out of Schoolgirls. A lot of Faust inspired mechanics. And now that people have her hands on her right now, because she just became available to play today. People are noting that she has some rule breaking moves, but it doesn't seem like overbearing just yet. As for the future of the game, though, they're releasing 2 new characters next year. It does feel like this is still like the second, like, you know, like not the high priority child of Arxes, and thus French Bread is doing all they can to like pump the passion into the game, but it's just being held together by the dedicated players at this point. Of which there are more of those in North America than even in Japan. So I still feel like anyone that saw the Uzuki reveal that isn't already a Uni fan is not going to be won over by that, but the people that were Uni fans were probably excited to see it.
At this point, I know the name, but I've never actually seen the character.
Oh yeah, let me pull up
Right.
that time point.
I guess their advertising doesn't reach me.
Right, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they did a poor job of getting new players um for this version of Uni. Like most of the players that are playing are the players that were already playing in Uniclear. You know, kind of like regardless of how this game turned
Yeah.
out, kind of thing.
Doesn't seem like it got new players. It's just, I mean, it's more like a version update, right? Not really like a new game.
Yeah, exactly. Why can I not find the trailer? Is it part of the intro? It's not part of the intro, right?
Or did they not reveal it at all? It was like a separate trailer.
Oh no, it was before the intro. Okay, that's interesting. So they brought on Kamone and the translator, and then they did it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I can't remember the last time I've launched this game. I think it was like Slashback or something. So yeah, I mean, I can't really offer any insight beyond what I had already seen. I don't think I'll be even giving her a shot on a character that interests me. But given that we're getting the next two characters next year, the thing that we can look forward to with this game the most is the balance patch, which did also release today, but I haven't had a chance to look at everything. Literally released the patch notes while we were doing this episode, so
Oh damn.
I'll have to look at it afterwards. But hopefully they fixed the things that people complained about. I, for one, was complaining about the damage. It's easy to see it when you look at the top 6. The damage was too high. So
Yeah, this character looks crazy.
yeah.
At least like sprite wise.
No, yeah. She again, I think they did a good job of capturing like a unique design for her, because even in Uni she feels like out of place, which is not a bad thing necessarily.
It's like average anime character though. They all feel out of place.
True. Actually true. But yeah, okay. And then well, Third Strike, obviously we didn't get new things necessarily, but
Imagine if we did.
that would be funny. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Okay.
Third Strike. You know, yeah, they should probably put Jury in Third Strike. I think I know this is just pure copium. I really wish they just port, a really good Third Strike, to like modern consoles,
It'd
Like
be cool if they released a hypothetical Third Strike game that released a little while back for the Xbox
online edition. Yeah.
that had the tracks.
Iron Galaxy.
Wasn't made by Iron Galaxy at all.
Yeah. So
and
yeah.
Darkstalkers Resurrection too.
Oh yeah, that's
really screwed.
Yeah, it's not dead, right, guys?
no, it's not dead.
Oh,
Not dead.
speaking of not dead, we need to mention this part of announcements. The addition of new Evo locations.
Oh,
We've got
yes.
so 2 additional Evo locations. One of them, well, okay, no, 2 of them. No, it is one of them. One of them we already
Yeah,
have, Japan.
it's
Yeah.
2, but one of them is in one's the awards in
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, that's right. Woohoo.
the LA show next year, at the beginning of next year, then Evo Japan, which is still going to be in Tokyo in May, and then Evo France is going to be in Nice in October. That's awesome. Like,
I totally called the Evo Europe. Everyone was saying
Yep.
it's gonna be Evo Saudi Arabia. It's gonna be Evo Saudi Arabia.
no, Europe makes
I don't know
sense.
what you're smoking.
Yeah.
Dude.
Center of the world. It was either going to be like, I mean, France was very realistic. I thought it was potentially going to be in Switzerland too, because
I
that's
thought it was
central
gonna be
location.
Sweden, because that's where they had DreamHack, and I'm like, oh, DreamHack.
Oh,
they
true.
probably have like and like they host like FPS stuff. They have probably the infrastructure to do that. So
No, yeah, that would have been a good guess too. But yeah, I mean, France makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in Nice and not Paris, which I'm so thankful of. Oh my, dude, Paris is
People don't like
ridiculous.
Paris.
Yeah, Paris is. Oh my goodness, it's
More like
a
people
mess.
don't like Parisians, but yeah, even Parisians don't like Parisians. So.
No, yeah. I mean, let alone Americans. So, but I mean, I'm so glad they're not doing it in Paris. Like, I haven't been to Nice, but Nice is like, from what I hear, a lot more ideal of a city to be holding an event like this. If you want to hold it in France, It's still a big city, but it's got enough breathing room for you to like actually do touristy stuff without it being like crowded or like just not being the most ideal money wise. Anyway, yeah, Nice is a great location. And then Singapore, the year after next. Also a great pick. I haven't been to Singapore, but like a lot of Southeast Asian players don't really have much events to go to if they don't go to
Yeah.
the regional
have,
events
like,
there.
Tiger Uppercut, and I think that's it. Or
Yeah,
Southeast Asian Major, which I think died.
it's gone. Yeah, Southeast Asian Major
Yeah,
is not
okay.
around. So their best event right now is EVO Japan, which is pretty far. So now that they have another event to go to, it's a good thing. Here's my concern though. EVO is applying their brand name to now 4 different events. Because once they add Singapore, 4 different events. Do you feel like, because I saw on Twitter someone saying this, and the sentiment, I feel like I share it somewhat. Do you guys feel like the brand is being diluted, or do you feel like it's a
No.
necessary sacrifice to allow
Nah.
for people to have the opportunity to go?
I don't think it's a dilution. It's like, I mean, people all over the world should have access to like really cool events. I mean, is it not that simple?
Yeah,
I feel like it potentially could, but so far I don't think it's not.
But people still think Vegas is the big one,
oh, absolutely.
to this day. People are like, oh, Japan is like, Japan's the smaller one, but Vegas is like the home, and it always will be.
And I hope people keep that in mind, because when EVO Japan started, no one was like, oh, no, not another EVO, blah, right? Like everyone was
You know-
pretty, yeah, go ahead.
I don't hear the same complaints for DreamHack.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Especially for like that, and many esports tournaments have their circuits, or like when I went to DreamHack SD, that was the Rocket League Championship Series, like finals or worlds or whatever they call it. Like that was like the tournament for them, right? At that DreamHack. And a number of other esports like Counter-Strike have their tournaments at DreamHack Dallas and such.
I
Yeah,
feel
no
like
one
the reason
complains.
why DreamHack doesn't have that same feeling is because it feels like it's catering to multiple audiences. It's
Mm,
not like exclusively fighting games. It doesn't really feel like there's much of a risk or a reason to go or not.
And
Yeah.
you know what's the funny part of all about this? The
Yeah.
thing is that like CEO Taku, Combo Breaker, like any major, they're all run under the same kind of business or company or whatever. It does not make a difference. They're only just
It's
like
true.
a placeholder, just like, hey, we have this big major. Come on down. You might be the big greatest of all time. Woo, It's just that Evo is just like has so many entrants that they can afford. And
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Like at the end of the day, it's just brand.
it
you
is
know?
brand. And to be fair, like Vegas has been the epicenter, and it always will be, because that was the original one. But that's not to say that these other ones will still have their prestige. Obviously, EVO Japan, I don't think EVO Japan has any less prestige than what we're now calling EVO Vegas.
Because it's like Vegas is like the home of Evo, but Japan's like the home of fighting games. So people consider Japan to be just as competitive, if not more, depending on the game.
Absolutely. And if anything, all the players that are again sponsored now, like I feel like sponsors will now continue to sponsor new players, because look, there's more opportunities for them to get a
Yeah.
chance to win, send over
There's more
players.
Evos.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just more opportunity to get the visibility out there for the sponsor companies themselves. We'll see what things actually look like though, because obviously, like maybe we can be proven wrong and people start like not attending certain ones. I mean, obviously the commoners won't attend all of them. That's just always going to be the case. Like Evo, then I guess that proves the point even more though, because Evo Vegas is the one that everyone goes to still. EVO Japan, the people that can afford it still go, and then the locals in Japan and the rest of the Asia region, of course, they go, and all the sponsor players go. I don't think that changes for EVO France. EVO France, if anything, is a lot easier for people to go to, because they won't have as many visa issues for the most part, compared to like traveling to the US. And then Singapore, we'll see about it too.
So that third spot, the Evo France spot,
Mhm.
that's like the rotating spot every year. So the next year, that one gets replaced by Singapore. Is that right?
That's right. I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they were calling that the international spot. So there's
Yeah.
Vegas, Japan. Those are permanent, and then the last one rotates every year.
Yeah, which is good. I feel like it's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, yeah.
That's like
cool.
exactly ideal. And in no way do I feel like
swapping it between like
Mhm.
a Latin American country, Europe, or Southeast Asia is like a good option.
Agreed. Oh, dude, an Evo in Brazil would actually go
Evo in
insane.
South America would go so hard. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Like all that. Like I don't think people realize like how much Brazil loves fighting games, and they will show up.
I think there's a chance if there's an Evo there that like a non-American NRS player would not win an Evo there. I think there's actually a chance for that to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Or
KOF,
Tekken.
maybe. Tekken too.
Like, yeah,
Tekken has
like
they have their own major. I forgot what they was it called. But there was like this one like,
Rev.
crazy Rev. Was it Rev?
Rev Major
Major?
is. I thought it was
That
in
sounds
Philippines.
different. I think yeah, that sounds different. They had their
could be wrong.
own major, but there was like this insane like Kazuya player. I think it's I forget what
I know who you're talking about, and he wrecked the
Sergi Master.
shit out of AK, I believe.
Sergi Master is ridiculous. I've never seen him do any like I've never seen anyone do the shit that he does.
Yeah,
But like the
and
fact that they have players there is crazy.
yeah, you got to keep in mind like these people are like Tag 1 players. Like these guys
Yeah.
are OGs. They've been playing the game ever since
Yeah.
like shit came out. And I don't think Arson like I mean, yeah, Arson can, beat up Americans and stuff, but how about South Americans? Now that's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, if you never played against them, how do you know, right?
Yeah.
Korea didn't play
Crazy
against
upsets.
Pakistan, so they didn't know. Yeah.
We saw some like stuff like that. We saw was it AK lose the Shaheen mirror to an American player, which I thought was insane. It's a crazy upset and then it was off stream.
Right.
Damn, yeah, stuff like that you could see a lot.
And yeah, it's something that you can't really account for until you hold the tournament there. So I do think we're in for a good treat once these international Evos come around the corner. And for the stream, I'm just playing the Evo France trailer. Oops. But yeah, okay, I think that was the last major announcement that they made. I don't think there's any other announcement from what I can recall. Do you guys remember anything else?
I think that's it.
Let's see.
Any major announcement?
I'm trying to recall as much as you can.
Mhm.
Actually, this is just major announcements at Evo. See if we haven't missed anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good old Rupelmonger has. Oh yeah, more characters for Hunter x Hunter. Woo wee,
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough competition, I guess. Oh, 2XKO. I guess we can talk about that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I tried it and I really did not like it. I'm gonna be real.
Right.
Maybe I mean, it could be because like they ran out of manuals when I was like in line, so I had zero instruction. And then I picked Yasuo, and I didn't find out until after the fact that people were saying he's the hardest character in the game. I watched gameplay; he looked really easy, so I didn't know he had a stance character either. Anyways, I was asking like what the tag button was to like one of the guys there, and he's like, "Oh, it's this button." I'm the point character on screen, and I press it, and nothing happens.
Yeah, you have to
Like,
hold
oh,
it.
I guess I held it, and nothing happens. So I don't know what was happening. And then apparently I found out the person off screen has to call in the tag, and I was like, this is a bonkers decision. Why does the person off screen get to? But like, if I'm on screen, I should have total control. No,
That is funny.
I just don't
Wait,
really
so
see.
you're
I
the
feel like
one playing, but
yeah,
the person off screen has to call for the assist.
yes, the person you have to tell the person off screen. It's like a really roundabout way to do it. There's like an effective solution that they're just not doing. The person off screen has to go in. They have to know when to go in, or you have to tell them when to go in, instead of you being able to just command them to come in, which I feel like is kind of, it's too roundabout.
Yeah.
I think so I also played the game. I had a really good time. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it feels good. Like some buttons obviously are questionable, but like it feels great. Um, and the fluidity, motion, the inputs. I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed playing like next to someone, and some parts of it just like yeah, obviously when you do like assist mechanics, you have to ask someone or you have to go in, but sometimes it just feels intuitive just to go in, and that's what I find beautiful about it because my partner is playing like Ari and doing all this cool shit. I could just like jump in as Yasuo and just like you know go in for an assist attack and change the tide of the battle. And as long as this goofy madness happening on screen, that's what I find fun about it because you know she can go both ways. Um, but yeah, like I think that obviously has its auto combos as well. Um, uh, yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
There was. Oh,
Y-
continue.
yeah, I do have a few comments. I of course I wasn't at Evo this year, but I played it last year with Zenryoku, and I was trying to follow some of the changes that they made for this year. It's clear that the game is a lot more polished. The HUD looks a lot better than it did last year. Um, looks cleaner. It looks more appealing for a new player. Uh, I didn't notice any change to the fundamental controls, and I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the one button map to one action because it felt like there were too many buttons, too many like basic buttons for this game. Like, was it 6 or 5 buttons for this game?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
But-
wouldn't let you rebind your controls.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to play on the stock. And I'm like, I really don't like this.
Yeah,
I want it
yeah.
to rebind.
I'm not a huge fan of the control scheme in general, but I don't think that's my biggest gripe with the game right now. My bigger gripe is their lack of like clarity on the direction they want to go in, where they want it to be like a crazy freeform tag fighter where you can perform all these setups and combos, or whether they want it to be new player accessible and friendly where they're trying to keep it watered down and simplified while allowing for opportunities to be expanded by the hardcore players, right? Because they did have like a fundamental pivot in the philosophy of this game going into this Evo. It seemed like they reduced the combo length. The damage is slightly higher, but not like so much higher. And
It's higher at the start.
yeah, higher at the start, but like it tapers off like quite a bit, right? But in general, the Ari changes because I played Ari when I was playing Ari and Yasuo when I played last year, and seeing the Ari changes, I was pretty disappointed. Like I'm like, do they really want to go this direction?
They strive a fighter before the game came out.
Yeah, they legit did, and I'm like, man, now I don't really have. Like, I mean, I didn't play it this year, of course, but it felt like, man, I don't really have characters to play if this game were to release right now.
My theory is the really popular characters will be easy, and then like the less popular ones will be harder.
Yeah,
Because
it
Ari
seems
is like
like it.
probably the #1 popular character, besides like a few others. So those are probably going to be like the easy, like showed archetypes or whatever.
I mean, I
And
will
they'll
say,
have, like, well,
Mhm.
continue.
yeah, I mean, I will say, I think when I played last year, from anecdotally, of course, most people were playing Darius on the team.
Mhm.
Even though Darius is not very popular in the league, like context.
He's like pretty popular.
I mean, compared to Ari, though, I don't
Yeah,
know about
that's
that.
fair.
Because a lot of people played Darius last year. Maybe though that's because of, as you're saying, like the ease of play for Darius was a lot better than Ari at the time. But they wanted to make like the popular characters easy too, so maybe that's why they changed Ari. I don't know
I
though.
mean, they still have hard characters. I think Ilaoi has like a just frame mechanic. And
Hmm.
Yasuo has like different stances. So like they do have like the capacity to make harder characters, especially if they add characters like Azir or whatever, or like Zed. Like they can definitely go ham on the options that those characters have, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hope they find their way with this game. They have a lot of great ideas, but I don't know if this will become the hit in its present state. They have to like just really get focused with where they want to go. And I'm sure it'll turn out well enough, but well enough is not good enough based on what Riot's been talking about for their games lately. Like all the layoffs they've been doing too. This game's got to be more than good enough. It's got to be the hit, and I'm not seeing it right now. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Until I get it, until I get my hands on it like by myself and not like on the show floor in a match with another person, then I feel like as of right now, I don't really feel like the game is like that great, especially with the current tag mechanic. But I don't know. If I play by myself, maybe it's better.
Well, I'm a normie, and I approve of this game. This game will sell out billions of copies. I assure you, I approve it.
Oh,
Truly, this won't be the flop like multiverses. There's a heart and soul in this game, and I can feel it.
oh yeah, you guys. It looks like we've got a message from the purple Sharpie. Welcome to the podcast. Any questions to ask the developers on 2XKO? Do you guys have any ideas on what would be a good question to ask them? Like, I'm thinking like, what are some of the like the new characters potentially that they want to add, or like,
I feel like
Listen-
that's
listen,
something
you-
they're gonna
okay,
decline to
okay,
answer
okay.
instantly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, where do they want to go with like what they have presently in the game, right? It's there's a lot of like different.
I remember them saying they wanted characters that would like fit a fighting game, not like what's actually popular with like the League fan base.
Yeah,
Which
they've
is why
got Braum in the
Braum is an
game, right?
interesting pick. He's like
Right.
not really that popular, I feel like, but he's he's a unique archetype.
Yeah, I'm thinking as well. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go for it. Okay.
No. I will say that while it is possible, like the majority of the cast can fit in a fighting game, but it'd be really funny if they added that goddamn cat in the game, just ruin the entire meta, just shutting down the entire game. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a character who is a support, and all she does is literally just like connects with your character and just like spams heal and annoys the shit out of the other teammates while doing absolutely nothing. And that pretty much ruined an entire meta for countless weeks until they said, hey, maybe this character wasn't such a good idea. But I will say that I think like putting characters that would fit a fighting game is a really good idea. Just hopefully they don't overextend, you know.
You know,
I
but-
find the game to be
But
like
But
pretty
if
cool.
they are popular enough, then the developers have to find a way to put that character in the game, because let's be real, we're not, like, fighting game fans aren't the only ones they're appealing to. They have to appeal to normies. They also have to appeal to their number one audience, and it's League of Legends players. So, if you add a character like Sona, who is like a support character but shoots out all these like heals, buffs, and debuffs and shit,
the music.
chances are she'll be a zoner.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no doubt in my mind that any popular character that doesn't fit in a fighting game will fit in that fighting game, regardless of what we all think, even though we know it's a bad idea, but we gotta cater it because money. So
Okay, here's an idea I have, and maybe this question would be of interest for when you ask. But what would be their balancing philosophy? Because a lot of modern fighting games, they're going in the direction of like always buff, never nerf, right? Or like, nerfs are scary to apply. Perhaps it's a misunderstanding of a very certain video released by a certain YouTube content creator. But nonetheless,
we love
that's
you, Gerald.
yes, we do. But nonetheless, that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing a lot of this being applied in like Uni, especially. I can attest to it. Uni has not been nerfing for a long time. I checked Twitter briefly while we were doing the episode, and Yuzu got buffs, which is absurd. That's a character that should not be getting any more buffs, in my opinion. She's perfectly fine right now. In fact, I think she has no business not being nerfed right now. Okay, anyway, back to XKO. Yeah, is an all buffs route something they're considering? Because that would rub a lot of people the wrong way, especially if this game's to be played like to any respectable level competitively, right? Which we expect it to be. And given they've already made changes, I mean, these are not like major balance changes or anything. This is just the natural polishing that a game undergoes before it releases. But given all the changes they made to Ari already, and given that they're still making minor tweaks to the system itself, is something like, keeping the nerfs to a minimum what they would prefer for this kind of game? Maybe that's a good question to ask.
I
What do you
I don't
guys
know if
think?
it's like a question, but like I'm not really sure if they're confident in what they have. Like they have a lot of mechanics in their game, and I feel like they don't really need all of them. You have all these like crazy tag mechanics, but you have also these crazy defensive mechanics. Like you have burst, you have push block, you have parry, you have two different kinds of parry. I'm like, I feel like you don't need all of these mechanics in here. I feel like, I mean, in a tag game, especially, you want to push like aggression, right? I feel like parries, maybe not. You don't need that. Maybe like the push block you could keep, but I don't really see the need for all of burst, parry, and like push block.
Yeah, I mean, they want to provide options, it seems like, right?
Yeah, but I mean, what do I know? I don't really play tag games. I just watch them. But
I think it can't hurt to have more options defensively. Marvel 3, for how crazy offense is in that game, the defensive options are pretty good. Like push block gets them off you completely for the most part. Um, there's also crossover counter. Spend 1 bar to get like an alpha counter style tag in. And then DHCing is defensive for all intents and purposes. I don't know if they have DHCs in this game, but like those are very simple things
it's
that go far.
fuse, or like a fuse you can pick, like
Oh,
your
okay.
mechanic.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, I think having a lot of defensive options for this kind of game will go a long way, because then the players themselves can explore which ones would be favored, and that's the whole point of there being a metagame, right? Uh, yeah, I guess like it just boils down to how much decision making do you want to put outside of the game as opposed to within the game, Like, do you want people to have to decide on so many things that character select, or should it be all relegated to the very match?
I guess like one possible question would be like, are they going to add more fuses later down the line, or is like what we have, like what we got for the whole game or for quite some time? I don't know, maybe they'll add some in a patch or whatever. Kind of curious to see if they'll add more fuses.
Yeah, you're from the Skullgirls community and you welcome more defensive options in team fighting games. Yeah, I think team games especially kind of need them as at a baseline. And oh yeah, one thing I didn't take note of, but I'm seeing the hard knockdown indication for the current footage that we're looking at right now. Rejace, did you notice if Oki seemed to be like oppressive from what you played, or
I have
hard to
no
tell?
idea.
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
played it once because I didn't like it. So
Yeah. Stormclaim or anything?
Oh, okay. I mean, all I did was just like, you know, run up to their body and just like, hey, guess, and then just, snowball them over. So I guess this is the thing. So
I guess like Braum could theoretically set up nasty situations. Like you call him in and you just shield, and then you just have a person setting up like some Oki tentacle monster in the background.
yeah, Ilawi.
Hmm.
No, Braum has poros he can just throw at you. He's a projectile. Oh no, he's Broly. No.
Yeah.
Get going. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, for sure.
Okay.
Thanks for hopping in. Yeah. Yeah, I was I was wondering, because something that I was a little bit annoyed with for Guilty Gear Xrd was that they added way too much like Oki. Like everything is all Oki. I guess that's Guilty Gear in general, right? But for Xrd Rev 2 especially, like everything is Oki. Like you get your hard knockdown and then you set up your projectile and then you do like a full jump, late air dash, get a couple of highs in there. Like a lot of characters that actually explains Okizeme for a lot of characters. Even a character like Heian, like that's the mix that he runs. To some degree, because you still have to get the hit in the first place. But if it becomes like monotone level of Okizeme, I think that would be a bit of a concern. Like if there's not enough like neutral taking place, because one thing that makes me enjoy watching like Marvel 3 and even KOF is how much percentage of a match is just neutral, like players trying to position themselves properly, landing the hit. You run your you run your offense for a bit, but it's not very long, because in Marvel 3, you have push block. As long as you defend the mix up, you can push block and back to neutral potentially. And then in KOF, block strings are not that long to begin with. So I wonder how they'll handle it for this game. If it goes the BB tag direction or the MVCI direction, block strings might be a bit longer. But we'll see. Used to host a podcast with one of the 2XKO devs, Yohozi, and she did let me know the fuse system is kind of set in stone. I see. The fuse system is the one that you can like set
The one before you match.
before the
team
match.
mechanic. Yeah.
That's the one like that has the DHC option available,
It's
right?
like you can choose DHC or like double tag or whatever.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean that doesn't seem like a bad idea, because I mean I think of League where you can like set your runes before the match and like gives you small power ups.
Don't they change those every season?
Yeah, let's ignore that part. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they do. But I guess it's analogous enough. It's not a foreign concept for a League universe game, so it makes sense that they're set in stone for that. I do. Yeah, I do wonder if they're gonna allow for more to be done with assist. Maybe they feel like what they have for assist right now is fine, but I did quite like the way it's handled in there's this game called Blade Arcs from Shining Battle Arena. It's like Blade Arcs from Shining Battle Arena and then Blade Arcs Rebellion from Shining, and they both allow you to like perform different assists based on the input that you do. So like, you get access to all your assists, right? And I believe that's what they're doing for this game too. Like, is that right? Like they're not making you choose your assist before the
I think
match.
you can pick 2 different assists to do.
Okay.
And there's like a few generic assists, like the run assists or the charge or whatever. I think that makes 3 total. I could be wrong. I didn't play enough.
Oh, they didn't do custom assists for it. It seems
I
like.
think each one has like 2 specific assists to their character.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's tricky to apply that because there's some balance considerations. Like at the end of the day, when you have too many choices, people are still going to reduce it to the most optimal choices, and then or like the most comfortable ones, right? So then everyone's just going to pick those, and there's not as much like freedom as one might think. And given that the base roster is going to be pretty small when this game releases, that could be an even more exacerbated problem. But it's probably not a big deal because the movesets are fleshed out enough given how many basic buttons there are, and it'll be a matter of how much you can do with those buttons. So assists are hardcore like in Marvel. Yeah. I mean, it still works out, but it would be cool if they had like an opportunity to allow you to customize your assist a bit more. But I feel like that would also be something they would do in season passes or whatever they decide to implement. But yeah, any other thoughts on 2XKO before we I don't have any other topics from Evo this year. So if not, then we can close this out.
Rolling back a little bit, what do you think about an Art of Fighting Samurai Showdown RPG?
RPG?
Yes.
What?
Like, isn't there like
It's
a
in
mobile
the
game?
it's in the Polygon article.
Oh, was it announced at Evo?
It says at SNK's developer panel on Friday, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves producer Joshua Weatherford said that the studio is working on a new Art of Fighting game and an action RPG spin-off of the Samurai Showdown franchise. Both titles are very far out, Weatherford said, and he stressed that SNK is looking to staff up for development. Art of Fighting SNK, yeah, prequel. The new one will be set during the 1970s in the city of Southtown. As for the Samurai Shodown ARPG, Weatherford offered little detail, but we got a lot of surprises in store for that one. It's like, that's it. So, I don't know what to tell you.
I have no thoughts on that. I guess well, I will say there is the new that new Metal Slug game that it was originally a mobile game, but it got released on Steam. I guess that's my only thoughts.
Yeah.
That exist. Yeah, okay. This is unrelated to Evo, but it's still around the Evo time frame. Bleach Rebirth of Souls
Ah!
was announced.
Alrighty then.
Yep, that's it. That game exists.
Good night, everyone. No, just kidding.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we can talk about that in a different episode, probably. Like, I'm a little disappointed, but yeah. Well, it's what can we expect of Bamco at this point? Okay, well, I'll edit the topic to now closing thoughts. So overall, I think this seemed to be a pretty good Evo. I was impressed with it. There's a lot that they improved from last year. The community showcase seemed to have been run smoothly, but I can't really say for sure since I didn't watch most of it. But I didn't see anyone complaining, so that's hopefully a good sign. Yeah, it was a fun Evo to watch. The competition was really good. Yeah. Anything for you guys?
You know what? This is an improvement of last year's Evo. There's gonna be some, nicks and picks, but I feel that, this is a good place to start. And it's gonna get I know that it's gonna go uphill from here. And yeah, I think was a really good Evo that I enjoyed attending to. Even for like one day was already great enough. So
Yeah. Very positive outlook. Rig, anything?
Just hope they improve things for next year.
Yep, they've got a lot of eyes on the tournament, and those eyes are growing by the year. I don't know if I'll go next year still. I'm a little sour from Evo Japan still, but hopefully that changes by the time next year comes around. But okay. Yeah, I think that about does it for our episode. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching episode 22 of Ursine Combo Lab Audio. This has been Storm Claymore, Rig Jace, and Cruci Drive.
and all the other ones like Jub Jub and
Love and
Care.
Peace.
Yeah, Love and
Yeah.
Care.
Yeah, thanks everyone that joined along for the episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll be resuming this discussion further with another topic that kind of came up recently among us. So stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be discussing fighting game competition, modern fighting games. I don't know how to describe the topic. I didn't really think of how to market it. But yes. Oh yeah, Purple Sharpie, thank you so much for catching the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you all next time, folks. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye. Have a good night. Woohoo!